Hello, Internet, and welcome to Ward 47. Thank you for joining us this lovely Saturday afternoon for our Parslings game. We are back and ready to pick up where we left off last time. Yes, RJ has been raptured in front of our eyes and is just gone. No, I think he went to get something. I assume he'll be back by the time he has to introduce
Is he
himself.
also going to get sauce?
I assume he's also going to get sauce for the 6 pounds of chicken that he's got. But yeah, let's let's go ahead and I'll do our announcements, and then we'll introduce ourselves, and then we'll get going. So if you are watching us live, thank you for being here. We will be next live if you are wanting to keep up with our schedule. If you enjoy what you see here today, our next scheduled live stream is going to be on Monday. That's going to be Red Jenny. It's another game that I run. We're playing the Dragon Age game, the Dragon Age TTRPG, and we play that at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Mondays. So you should, if you like this and you like the way I run games and a couple of us play in them, then you'll probably like that. The rest of the week, I think our schedule is going to be pretty much normal. We had some time off last week, at least. Well, it will be normal through Thursday, as per our schedule, and then unfortunately we will be off again from our Saturday games next weekend because we'll be traveling, and we also won't have Red Jenny next Monday too. But those should be the only big schedule changes coming up. I don't think we have anything else really new going on. Any announcements for me to hit up. So to save time, so we can get to all this bullshit, let's go ahead and go around, do our announcements, introduce ourselves, tell the people who you are, what you do on and off this channel, and who you're playing tonight. Starting with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internet at Savvy Seaworth, pretty much wherever you could find people on the internet, mostly hanging out in the GGK Discord. I'm having trouble talking today. And live on this channel, Thursdays through Mondays, either playing games or running them. I run Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday mornings before this game, and we just kicked off our new module, our new season this morning. Very excited to be playing The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And the Sunday nights you can find me on twitch.tv/lbhackemup playing Monster of the Week. But tonight I am playing Aiden Rose, who is a well-meaning scientist with a passion for art.
It's me next, I believe. Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and you can catch me at rjustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends. Over the week, you can catch me over at the Indoor Adventures on Mondays. On Thursdays, no longer here on GGK, but over at the Hype Goblins, where we're doing a 5e homebrew campaign that's using third-party material exclusively. Fuck you, Wizards of the Coast. But yeah, come check that out. We're starting off at level 1, and everyone is weird except for me this time around. I'm the party dad. Other than that, over here on Saturday, but we'll talk about that in a hot second, finally rounding out the week, we're doing Pathfinder now on Sunday mornings instead of D&D. With a new member, Robin of To Have and To Roll is joining our lovely little adventure, and we're starting back at level 1 after a reboot. It's fine. Today I'm playing
reboot, a nice way of saying a TPK.
We were in a fight against cultists of Loth and all died.
Okay, so a TPK. Got it. Got it.
Yeah. It's still the same characters. It's just the DM needed an explanation to why we're switching systems and, level 1 again. No one's played Pathfinder in that table, so yeah. It's a learning experience. Today, I'm playing Yuri Katagiri, and he is a boy, literally raised by wolves, trying his best in a society.
Aren't we all a boy trying our best in a society? Hi, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internet at Greek Sid or on IG as Girl Karma. I hate you younger Sid. You can find me here Thursdays through Mondays playing and running games. We just had a little in-between, a little celebration for my birthday on Thursday where I embarrassed, well, there is an argument that I didn't embarrass everybody because a lot of people cannot be embarrassed and have no shame that played with us that evening. But I sure embarrassed Val. Sorry,
We
Val.
embarrassed Val enough for all of us.
Sorry, Val. I still love you. But yeah, we just staged reading of a Chuck Tingle Tingler, and it was chaotic and ridiculous. And I love my friends dearly for participating in that. But this Thursday, we shall be premiering our new installment of the Elegance Stream-O-Matic universe called Elegance and Vigilance. Good Society is back, baby, with a little bit of D&D thrown in. So definitely check that out, 7 o'clock Eastern. Today, I am playing Amaris Brennan. Amaris, well, she's an observant wallflower with an eye for tech and a love of poetry.
And that just leaves me, folks. Hi, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, most related to D&D, a lot of things on the Indoor Adventures stream. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter for the foreseeable future. I've got a pinned tweet there. You can see my schedule and all the things that I'm up to. But for now, today, I'm going to be playing as Mori, who is a faceless voice of the people for as long as he lives. And we shall see how long that is.
DanaeKeener.com.
That's it.
Win.
Oh no, I didn't have you make your new character when you die in the first 5 seconds of this game. Whoops. No, I'm just kidding. Hi everyone,
Can you
I'm Val.
die of an ayahuasca overdose?
No, you get died by you getting shot in the chest.
You can
That's what
overdose
happened
on
to Mori.
anything if you try hard enough.
That's all in his head. He's fine.
Hi everyone, I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown looking around the internet. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing running games. I already talked about the 2 games that I run, and I play in a bunch of the others that have also been mentioned. But today, I'm going to be continuing the trip, continuing the journey here. So, are you all ready to get started? All right. I'll leave this music on for a little bit longer. I'll do the recap, and then we'll go back to our chill music. So, previously on Ward 47, you were in the crew, the metaphor, were in the heat of a, I guess, prison break. Maybe is the best way to rescue mission, breaking into a gang hideout, infiltrating and stealthing to rescue the younger sister of the leader of the Tinta, a parceling gang in the Ano Metro area, in order to win their allegiance, their favor, their friendship. You successfully located Cloud and were able to distract the Cayete by starting a fire and then remote controlling a bunch of drones to shoot up the workshop and essentially raining down chaos around this camp. While all this was going on, Aiden and Mori were successfully able to extract Cloud from her cell, and the 5 of you met up with one of Cloud's siblings, Luca, who was driving your your escape vehicle, and all of you piling in began to tear off across the desert in a frantic escape. However, you were pursued by the leader of the Cayete, hold on, shit, I forgot his name. Nope, that's not the name I'm looking for.
Evan.
Holy shit, I
Deo?
forgot his name.
No,
Nope.
Deo's the Tinta.
Oh, the Cayete, sorry.
The Cayete
What's
leader.
that fool's name?
Hicks?
Oh, his name was
Kicks.
something weird like Kicks. Yeah.
Kicks.
Yeah, it was Kicks
Yes,
Basement.
Kicks.
That's right.
Because he
And
made
guys-
fun of me for being smiley. I'm all like,
Yeah.
Like the
Rick's coming for
cereal.
you, Kicks.
Kicks Caseman.
Cakes are for kids.
Nobody here chose his name because that name was redeemed by G, I believe. Thank you, G. And he was pursuing you in this essentially this combat vehicle, this tank. And in order to make your exit to defend yourselves amidst the fire of tank mortars and shells, you parsed an immensely powerful parse where you turned the tank into a tree, a willow tree, I believe, and the tree, along with Kix, went crashing down into the desert below, crushing Kix and allowing you to safely make your exit. You arrived back at the Tinta camp, their caravan, where you were greeted warmly, congratulated in your successful mission, and received the respect and accommodations of accolades from Deo, the group's leader. There was a party. You had a lot to drink, to eat, celebrate, and Deo told you that he would like to kind of officially give you the information you're looking for, like bring you into the fold, trusting you as fellow parselings and as people who had now rescued one of his close family members. And you were able to, or I guess before you decided to take him up on that the next morning, you ventured back across the desert to the tree where you found out the tree itself was made out of tank parts. Seemed to be an organic or like a manufactured organic organism, having oil and metal and glass and steel, and also the spores of this tank or the spores of this tree had an explosive property to them. A little bit of a side quest, and you put a pin in that as maybe something to deal with later on. When you the next morning woke up, I forgot also, I should recap. There was a bit of a prank battle between Aiden and Luca, where Aiden took Luca's
He put
clothes.
jelly in my sleeping bag.
Well, yeah, you put
forgot.
his underwear up on the roof.
Yeah, all he had to
on
do
a
was
weather
go.
vane.
All he had to
Weather
do was
vane.
go get him down. He put jelly in my sleeping bag.
Uh-huh. And then, yeah, I think there were some other,
Is he
nice-
Justin McElroy? Yeah, I just put some jelly on it.
There were some nice conversations and stuff too, some nice roleplay moments as well. But yes, the next morning you were taken by Deo a little bit away from the caravan to what looked like maybe like a hatch or some sort of bunker hidden out in the desert, and he led you down into that and showed you the temple, as he referred to it, a place of sort of cultural and religious significance for the Tinta, where he explained how the Tinta are able to pass on their parseling parsite gifts to each other without dying as a result as often as they do out in the rest of the world. He led you in, or to explain to you kind of the grisly process that they go through in order to do that and to protect their own, and then also offered you the option to engage in another one of their sort of sacred rituals, their rites, to communicate with your parsites and get to know them a bit better, which involved ingesting some sort of hallucinogenic tea, and then immersing yourselves in a sensory deprivation chamber in order to kind of find that center, communicate with the parsite within. You did so, and each of you experienced a different vision. Amaris met her parsite core, a being seeming to be made of black feathers, and had a fascination with death. the Aiden met his Parasite Hope, a little yellow friend
Just a little guy.
made of paint that has been sort of capturing all of the memories and the moments of Aiden's life in a sort of comic book form inside Aiden's head.
We must
And-
all protect them.
I'm literally gonna start crying again just thinking about it.
So we all cry.
Yuri met his Parasite, which did not have a name, but was a bestial kind of force of wrath and sort of primal aggression, which seemed to want to take over Yuri's body. And then Mori, where we left off last time, ventured into his own mind, where he encountered in a sort of a dreamscape version of his office, was confronted with a familiar face, being your own face, scarred with green hair and a rather antagonistic posture towards Mori. You saw the face of ego ahead of you. And where we left off last time, this figure had drawn a gun from the that was sitting on the desk between the two of you, pulled it or pointed it to your chest, Mori, and pulled the trigger. And that's where we are going to jump right back in. And let's go with this one. Mori, the entity sitting across from you aims, and you can just hear the click of the trigger, and then an explosion, the sound of a gunshot ringing out in your ears as this weapon is fired directly into your chest. And there's a moment where your ears are ringing and the room stands still, and you look down at the gun and it is smoking, but you place a hand on your own chest and there's no wound, there's no impact. It doesn't seem to have fired anything at you. And you look back towards the person sitting across from you, and they smile, not in a sort of like sinister way, but more in a kind of got you sort of way. And as they smile, you watch as the hair on their head actually darkens and from this green to a straight like black, and the scars kind of fade away, and you see a different version of yourself sitting there. This one is it looks, I mean, visually, facially, just like Ego, but without the sort of effects or the stuff that Ego has been through. It is like a different version and an alternate version. And they hold continue the gun still pointed. Their smile breaks and they chuckle and they go, gotcha, I guess. Hey, Mori.
Hi.
I really had you going there, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sorry. You're not Ego.
That's a complicated question. Yes, I am, but no, I'm not.
Well, we've got some time. He's gonna stand up and walk over to his coffee nook and start some water. Tea?
Sure.
He'll like
Whatever you're having.
All right. He'll set up 2 mugs and wait for the water to heat.
sort of watches you, and as you heat the water and come back around to the table, it just sets the gun back down. Says, "I'm sorry. Did you? I hope the joke came through. It's a blank. Blank. That's the word."
Oh, your guys are real little shit, huh?
I'm out of character. Out of character. That's very funny.
What a turd.
Mori just like, huh.
Yeah.
I guess I never thought about it that way before.
Well, I don't know. Just takes a little bit of creativity. Think about. Anyway, words have a lot of meanings. I don't know really where to start with this. It feels like a little self-centered for me to just go ahead and jump straight into my origin story. I know.
Well, how about a name?
Okay. So technically, I chose the name Memento. But that could get a little bit complicated, I gather, if you're calling me Memento, because you're also Memento, and Ego's Memento, and all three of us kind of are. So I guess you could also think of me, if you want something else to call me, you could call me the id to their ego.
Clever.
Because like I said, same person, two different paths.
You seem to be implying that ego is also me.
I mean, in a sense, yeah. I mean, that's sort of the identity that he assumed. There's not really as much of a distinction between the three of us as there are for others, but that sort of goes into the unique circumstances of our birth, I suppose.
I gotta be honest, I don't remember a lot of that day. You?
Yeah, I mean, I remember all of it. That's kind of an important time for me.
Well, if talking about yourself is hard, then maybe we can start there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely happy to talk about myself. I just also know you have some wants here too, and I don't really know how much time we have, but sure. If it helps fill in the blanks, I know that Ego sort of showed you some of it from his perspective, but
Right, and I don't know how much of that to trust.
yeah, well, sort of glossed over some bits. Yeah, let's start there. Maybe that'll help explain who I am a bit. The tea's boiling.
Passes it over.
Yeah, blows on it a bit, takes a sip, says, okay, so you understand that Ego and I didn't exist. Memento, I guess we'll say there, didn't exist until that parse. We were created by Evelyn, Tag, Lennox, Ruby.
Right.
And we were created with a specific purpose. It kind of got shifted a bit, but the first thing I remember is this sort of impetus to erase, to forget. Because that was what they wanted, right? That's what all of you wanted, was for parselings to be forgotten.
No, not all of us.
maybe that's why.
But
it didn't
I
go
wasn't a
that
part
way.
of that. So
And maybe that's why things went the way it did. I think there was some there was some disagreement maybe internally amongst the four of them. Maybe they weren't totally on the same page, but either way, it didn't turn out exactly the way that they wanted. And we were made. I was made. That process, I'm sure to you, kind of happened like that, like instantaneously. I mean, you were there, and then you were out, and then waking up with me inside of you and all that, and it was I know it was a weird situation, but time is god damn it. Sorry, just laughing at the chat. I was really trying to move past me saying that. We're really gonna have to put some distance between us and Thursday's stream, aren't we? The time didn't move the same way for everyone involved. For Tag and Ruby and Lennox and Evelyn, that parse, that was a long process. They lived out that moment for a while. I don't know if Evelyn's really ever talked to you about that. I know she hasn't because, well, I've been here, obviously.
I guess I never really thought to ask her.
Did you ever wonder why she's the only one that's still walking around?
I do. Do you know?
I don't know all of it, but I know there was an agreement between the four of them. I don't know what they talked about exactly, but they died and she lived.
What about you?
Right. So Memento was created. We took that word because it was the one that seemed the most fitting out of our options, the words that we knew. Because I guess the idea behind our creation, our what we wanted wasn't just to erase, was to take from and make our own, and sort of, I saw myself as being a sort of continuation of what the four people that created me wanted. Again, it's really hard to explain your feelings when you only have 4 words that make up your entire identity from the get-go. You have to do a lot of creative interpretations. So, anyway, we took initially, we needed more memories, we needed more identity, we needed to sort of something to explain what we were and what we were supposed to do. And the only way we could do that was by making the things around us our own, to consume. I mean, that's the drive of every Parasite, is to consume. So we started with Lennox, and that's where we got our name. And then Ruby and Tag filled in the gaps a bit more. Evelyn gave us a push. There was an intention there, a drive. But then we got to you. Then I got to you, Mori. And you were as blank as we were. You were empty. You didn't have a word. You didn't have an identity. And so I was conflicted with myself and what to do with you. There was this drive inside myself to sort of, I guess, understand and to put myself in your, like, there was this instinct to I guess join with you, but there was this consciousness behind it, this sentience that most of my kind never really obtain until we've bonded with somebody, to continue to be our own entity and to not surrender ourselves to the will in a binding with another creature. And I fought with myself for a long time over that. And in the end, I didn't reach a decision. And so I divided those two parts of me. Part of me went with you and following that instinct, and part of me went on to be their own person, and that's ego.
Does ego know about this?
I would assume so. I mean, that's probably why ego is so bent on killing you, because we're still connected. And I think maybe he fears that somehow you'll be able to use me to control him.
Well, if he's so afraid of that, then there might be some truth to it.
Maybe. I mean, I do feel that connection grow stronger when they're nearby, which is probably why ego's hostility grows in turn. So.
All this kind of explains why we had such a hard time figuring ourselves out.
Yeah, I know things were kind of rough there at the beginning. I didn't mean to take control the way that I did. And I had a hard time curbing my instincts. And obviously you had a hard time holding on to yourself.
So it was you. For a while. What made you give control back?
I'm not really sure. To be honest, it wasn't really a me and versus you situation during that time. It was more us. Not two beings, but one, following this instinct. And then at some point, I became aware of myself again. And you became aware of yourself. And it just split. If I could explain why, I'd love to know. But I don't really have the answer there.
Could it be that there's something similar happening with Lennox, Tag, and Ruby?
Maybe. What they are isn't exactly the same thing as what we were. They did die because of the parse, and what Ego has done is essentially created facsimiles of them. I mean, their bodies, their names, their parsites, or at least the whatever bits of their parsites are left. But I don't know if they can come back from whatever happened to them. But if we can try, we can try.
If their parsites are still in there, that means there's at least an impression of what they were. There's a direct line to who they were before. I think I'm just not ready to give up on them.
I get that. And I'll help however I can. Because I kind of understand it. You're not the only one that wants something back that they lost. More, if there's one thing that I want in this situation, now that we get a chance to talk, Ego and I weren't really meant to be apart like this. I want to find a way to put us back together.
I think that's going to be harder than you think.
Probably. I don't even know where to start or what that looks like, but I'd like to try to figure that out.
I guess that's something that we do have in common. We both have impossible dreams.
Yeah. I think that's why we get along. I'm sorry
All
about
right.
the face thing, by the way.
Well, only half of you did that.
Yeah, it's still me. I still bear some responsibility, I think. But maybe we can fix that too.
All right. Let's give it a try. He's like, reach across the table, give him a handshake.
Shake hands. I want to
And while
give...
he's holding... Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry,
while
go
he's holding his hand, he's like... And if you pretend to shoot me again, I cannot be held responsible for what I do. I will scream.
I know. It was probably too much. I really thought it was going to be funny, and I realized it was probably more traumatic than anything. You know what? I have a lot of impulse control problems. So.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say. So I
I
left
thought you were
all
going to
of...
say Mori pulls out a gun and then it's like, I'm just kidding.
You just keep on shooting him. Just empty a clip into him.
I do want to know, because I left all of you with a little bit. Is there... We can kind of split this scene and continue. If there are any questions that you want to ask and any conversations you want to have with your Parsite, because there's... Again, we've kind of had the very, very basic introductions, but this is the perfect time if there's any like very deep information that you want.
You can go for Sid first.
Okay, Sid.
Yeah, it's still quite overwhelmed. and having just been told to do the thing that terrifies her most, which is to be more aggressive. Which is also her goal. I guess define aggressive.
Well,
Because I mean, like, I fight. I'm
Yeah,
really good with my bow.
well, you fight to defend yourself, which, everyone
And my friends.
and your friends. But I don't mean just like fighting aggressive, Amaris. Like, I mean, you can see like the feathers kind of ruffling a little bit, like in frustration, trying to figure out like how to explain this. You're content to sit back and let things happen around you a lot of the times, watching instead of participating and putting yourself out there. Again, you have a relatively short lifespan in comparison with other things in this world, including myself. And I want to see you make the most of it.
How long do you live?
It's hard to say. I don't have an exact number. I don't track my birthdays. But
How many other hosts have you had?
a few over the years. I mean,
How many's a few? How many exes have you had?
listen, I don't want you to be jealous, okay? Listen, we all.
Well, there
You're
was this
sick-
one guy that wrote a lot about ravens.
Over the centuries, probably 5 or 6. There are long periods of sort of hibernation and afterwards. It's a hard process to lose your host and kind of regaining yourself. We essentially die alongside you when our host dies, and we are essentially, I guess, reborn, I guess you could say, starting from nothing and then gradually regaining some semblance of ourselves over time.
How many of your hosts have you totally taken over?
Well, none. You see, that's something that once that happens, a word Parasite can't come back from.
Oh,
Once you fully take over your host, that is you. That is what you are forever. You don't get another chance. You have essentially sort of engraved your meaning in stone, I guess. And
oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Well, you were there when we met that big, like, shaking at the memory. The big blob guy. He said that, well, that all parasites want to consume their hosts eventually. So is that not true?
for some it is. I don't really understand what the collective is. Though this feeling when we were around them, it felt familiar, and there's a pull like a calling, I guess, when they're nearby. That was scary for me, and I imagine for others too.
It felt like you were scared. I was scared.
Well, it fills us, like I felt compelled to, like it was trying to convince me to take you over. But I didn't, obviously.
No.
You know, I didn't want to, and I didn't try to. But no, I have been around, I guess, since the first person had a word that fit me.
Do you remember your other words?
I've only ever had one word.
Oh.
Raven is my word. It's the word that defines me. That's the one, why it was the first word that we shared. The other words that come with it are interpretations of the bond that you and I have.
Okay.
I want to open it up to essentially the way I want to kind of play out the scene too is if all of you are getting this information at the same time with your parasites. So if anyone wants to follow up on that information with their parasites, then they can to ask follow-up questions too.
Does my Parsite even know this information? Considering...
That's a good question.
The information that my Parsite wants to consume me is their objective.
Your parasite's a bit of a different beast.
Beast.
No pun
Someone should zoom in my Parsite to this meeting. Oh, you mean I can't? Or we're both gonna die? All right, I'm gonna change my objectives.
No, but I think there is some like innate knowledge that parasites have, and I think that yours would know some of this. Would know this just from what they've picked up too. So we can assume this is knowledge that some of this is knowledge that your parasite has. Yeah, no, I'm comfortable with that.
So, given this information, you won't help me when I need you? Because you're all about wanting to consume me, huh?
The creature sort of growls and says, I am content in what I am, and I feel no reason to hold myself back.
I think it's a bit unfair that I'm getting something out of this and you're not. Is there a way to feed you without having to give myself up?
This again sort of amorphism, like again bestial form cloaked in shadow in the darkness of this forest in front of you, leans down so like its eyes are kind of on level with you, and it says, what I want more than anything, Yuri, is what I have already told you. However, there are other ways I can be fed that will continue to push you in the direction I want you to go, so if you continue to surrender to that instinct, to my hunger, then I know we will reach that point soon enough.
Yuri bends down, picks up a stick, throws it into the darkness of the forest, and you just hear like the scampering of feet as me runs after it.
Yeah.
And he's gonna take some time just to contemplate what his parasite is telling him.
Does anyone else want to follow up on any of these?
So, act, don't watch? Is that being more aggressive?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I had a hard time hearing you there.
Mm-hmm. So I need to act, not watch? That's being more aggressive?
I think that's a great place to start. I think you might find there are things that you like that aren't so dependent on the people around you and what they want.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not expecting a big change right away. I'm not expecting that. Start small.
Okay. I'm kind of drawing a blank. Do you have any ideas?
I think you're just going to have to wait till the opportunity presents itself. I can't really see the future.
If something comes up and I don't seem to be figuring it out, can you give me a little nudge or something? At least to start.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
Good. That's all I want.
Am I gonna be able to talk to you when I'm not in this egg thing?
Maybe. Again, I can't see the future, and this is my first time doing this, so we can see. Might not be an all the time sort of thing. Might just be something we can do when we're especially in sync.
Okay. I'd like that.
I want you to know that I don't want you to be afraid of me or worried about what I'm trying to do here. Like, I really do just want a stronger bond between us, but not one that doesn't tip too far one way or the other, you know? And we're getting...
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
She just says really quietly, I was scared of you for a long time.
And that fear, that's where a lot of these sort of relationships go bad. People fight against their parasites and their instincts, and then they essentially starve them out. And then the only way for the parasite to, I guess, not starve, they're driven to a point of desperation. And that's where they begin to feed away or feed on their hosts rather than the things around them. And I won't lie to you, there is an upside to it. The creatures that do go that way, the parasites that do make that decision, they they become very powerful, extremely powerful. You've seen them. They don't need this. They lose the ability to understand anything other than their word. They lose their ability to converse with other parasites and understand meaning and nuance. It's all a single drive for them.
Incoherence.
Yeah. And they become very powerful. And they can get very powerful. There are incoherence that essentially consume so much that they reach, their word can affect the world around them very strongly. In the same way that when you parse, you can change the world, that they change it on that level. There's a word for, there's the term, a label that we use for parasites who so embody their word that they ascend to this level of almost like godhood. We call them motifs. You've seen a couple of them yourself at this point.
Who? Which ones?
You remember those 3 big motherfuckers that came up out of the ocean when you met the collective?
Those are motifs.
Yeah, though they are specifically motifs of fear. They've existed, some of the first that have existed since the dawn of time, I guess, and since, well, not time, but language.
And the collective is controlling them?
I guess so. Or at least has convinced them to follow the same path.
That's really bad.
Yeah. They might not be the only ones out there.
Okay.
But we'll figure it out. You've got strong friends that are... The 4 of you together have done a lot of really wild shit, so...
That's very true.
And personally, I think that we might not be as powerful individually when we don't go that route, when we don't become incoherent. But I think the potential... I think when we retain our ability to understand other words and other ideas, it gives us a lot more potential to grow even more powerful.
Like the whole sum is greater than the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, that whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice to officially meet you, Core.
It's nice to meet you too, Amaris. I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk.
Good.
Aiden, Mori, anything you want to say?
Aiden has spent the last 10 minutes talking to Hope about what his favorite movies are. so they can watch them again.
Boy. What would Hope's favorite movies be?
Fast and the Furious.
Inside Out.
Is a good one.
That's a wild range.
Yeah. Well, I just really like those Shrek movies. Just a whole bunch.
Those are fun. Those are fun.
I mean, any movie that's got like a lot of color in it is something that I really enjoy. The animated movies, especially.
Should we put on a Bob Ross stream for them?
Oh, Aiden watches that shit constantly.
Oh, I love Bob Ross.
Me too, dude.
I think all trees are happy trees.
Yeah. Being a tree is probably pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, like, do you need anything from me?
I mean, like I said before, I think I want the most is just the opportunity to see more, to see the world, to get to learn new things with you and to be inspired. So, that's kind of why I stuck around with you in the first place. And I know we were sort of desperate for each other and kind of needed things to begin with, but...
Yeah, it was kind of rough there at the beginning, I guess.
But we were really lucky to find each other because I think we have a lot in common. And I hope not too much of that has just been my own, what I wanted to do. And you're getting to do the things you want to do too.
No, I think we're good. I think we're a good team.
Like I said, I have a really hard time right now. I'm not really that brave. I'm not that strong. I sort of... Well, like I said, my name is Hope, and I sort of hold on to this idea of the color yellow kind of representing that, and being light and sunshine and happiness, and that sort of got taken away from me a bit for a while when I was locked up. And
In the box.
yeah, and I know I'm not there anymore, and I know you're not going to put me back there, but I'm still worried. If something happens to you, if you get hurt, then I could end up back there again.
Oh, I'm not gonna let that happen.
Well, I don't want to let that happen either. Do you want to, before you go, do you want to maybe paint a picture of us together, since now we've finally met? So we don't
Yeah.
forget about this?
That's a great idea.
Okay. I think
Paint a
they
picture
go and they grab just like a big old bucket of yellow paint.
So that's you.
from the corner.
Come on. I'll give you big muscles.
And the two of you begin to essentially paint your first meeting.
One last thing for Yuri.
Sure.
I just want to eat Hope up. He's so cute.
Keep hope alive in
Keep
your
him
heart.
alive.
I guess, yeah. There's just a few minutes of silence between Yuri and his parsec as me keeps coming out of the woods to deposit the stick at either of their feet. But around the time that Yuri can feel like, oh, the fever dream's ending, here we go, he'll turn to the giant wolf. I can't keep calling you, I don't know your name, and you don't know your name either, huh?
No. I never found mine.
How about a temporary one until you can think of something yourself?
If you give me a name that I don't like, I am going to...
Eat me?
Yeah, I think that.
All right. Yuri stands there, scratching the bottom of his chin. Amarok. In certain tales, from what I read, they are gigantic wolves that are cautionary tales for people not to hunt alone, or else they get devoured. There's a story I remember of a boy who was very weak in his village, seeking out a stronger spirit, something to give him strength. A Amarok appears before him, and it makes him stronger.
I can see why you would pick that. If that is what you choose to call me, fine.
The other option is pup, but
Yeah,
you know,
I'd rather not go with that one.
Amarok's
Let's
fine.
stick with the one that at least sounds cool.
Yep. Well, I would say be seeing you, but I don't think I'm gonna take another drug trip. Unless I have to.
Well, now that you've found your way here, I have the feeling that it'll be easier for us to speak going forward.
Yeah. Me comes back. Yuri just bends down. Keep an eye on this one, alright? I don't want him messing around my brain space.
Just yips. Goes scampering off again. And yeah, your vision fades. The last thing you see are the glowing yellow eyes of Amarok in the shadows of your mind.
I'll spell that out for y'all.
Yes, please do. Mori, is there anything?
I'll say that they finish their tea together. And Mori eventually cracks open the wet bar. And the two of them have a finger of whiskey. And they'll move from the desk to the little sitting area. He has a very cozy office. There's a sitting area with a nice window, and you can see that we're just reaching the twilight hour. So there's or rather the golden hour. So there's gorgeous light playing across them. They talk about a number of things, like the nature of fear and how they use it. And ultimately their connection being the desire to survive. And I imagine that there's a number of other conversations that they have, whatever information we need to retroactively pull from, we can assume that they had a conversation about that, with your permission.
Sure, that's fine.
And I think that at one point, Mori's just looking out the window and he says, "I was afraid of you. What you made me."
Yeah, I will take responsibility for that. If it helps, it's not what I wanted.
What did you want?
Meaning. I wanted to know who I was.
Boy, did you make a mistake?
I don't think so. I think we just need to give it more time. I've already learned a lot over this last year. A lot more than I did when We were kind of sharing control. So I think this is working.
Mori kind of nods. Yeah. I think on our own we don't really find much of anything that has meaning.
But that's oh god. Finish what you're saying.
That's why I always followed them around, They were going somewhere, they were doing something. But I don't really know if that's what gave it meaning.
The way that I've thought about it, Maury, is this word that we share, this blank. I mean, it's got a lot of ways you could interpret it, obviously. But I think the reason why I think that's the word that we settled on, the nature of everything, physics, the universe, life, entropy. Things go from the places where there are more to the places where there are less. Not having something, being a void, being empty only means you have more space to fill. And the only reason that that's not going to change, and the only reason you won't find things to fill in that blank with, is if you exclude yourself, if you stay on your own, if you isolate yourself. That's kind of what ego's doing. It's trying to build up that wall and keep everything else out.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do about that. And as he says that, he takes another swig of his whiskey, and I think the sun sets.
Yeah. And you both take a sip as the sun sets, and Memento, or Id, says, "Good chat. I'll be seeing you, Mori." And all four of you at the same time feel that you are suddenly kind of brought back to your senses with a big thunk, one at a time, as the top of your pod is opened. It's not like very bright, it's pretty dim out there, but probably anything is pretty bright at this point, as you've been in pitch blackness for a while. You all find Deo looking down on you as you are helped out of the deprivation pods chambers. He says, "Morning, everyone."
How long has it been?
About 12 hours.
Do you have a bathroom?
Oh, yeah. It's just down the hall there.
Clap, 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 clap.
That only felt like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's like that. Time is strange. Well, I assume that since none of you hit the panic button, and your vitals seem pretty pretty much normal. We got a bit of a hiccup from Mori for a moment.
Yeah, that was a false alarm.
But overall, it seemed like it went well. Hope you all learned something.
I feel like I learned a lot.
I learned I need to get a better bed. That's the best I've slept in years.
Mori, you shouldn't sleep on the couch in the office. You should go home.
Points over to a table in the middle of the room which has some food on it. It says, now you're probably going to be hungry. Eat slow. Start with some bread, and make sure you drink plenty of water. I've got a couple of pitchers there, but take your time. I'm sure that the four of you probably have a lot to talk about amongst yourselves, and we can figure out things after that.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yuri comes
and-
back, just looks at the group, still clustered together, does not apologize for what he's about to do, and just starts shaking his body.
Come on.
Yuri, we talked about this.
There are no towels.
That can't possibly be true.
No, he's given you each a towel.
Yuri did not receive a towel.
I just
Yeah, he left to use the
take
bathroom beforehand.
I take the other towel and just I go to hand it to Yuri and then I yank it back and I throw it over his head. That's what you get.
Part of dog intelligence tests is to throw a blanket over their head to see if they can get out.
Yuri does not get out.
That's hilarious.
It's nighttime, I sleep.
Like a bird. We used to have to do that when I had a cockatiel.
Same.
Otherwise, he'd stay up all night singing.
All night.
Oh, sweet food.
Go slow.
It's the grumpiest. So, what were they like?
Big.
That makes sense.
Apparently there's a lot of empty space up here. That was a joke. I'm learning humor.
That was a good joke. I liked it.
She wasn't very big. Well, she was bigger than me.
Well, that's not difficult.
True. She was covered in darkness and feathers.
Yeah, that tracks.
How about you two?
Mine was like this little yellow paint guy.
You want to trade? Mine's a bit of a dick.
No,
Okay.
mine's called Hope.
Or
I had to name mine. Amarok.
Oh, that's badass.
that's right.
It just means wolf, honestly.
But it sounds cool.
Mine's a lot like me. A bit impulsive, but I think we've come to a consensus.
That's good.
Anybody learn anything illuminating?
Hope's been trying to recreate my memories.
Hmm.
That's why they're all kind of smushed together. It's like a comic book in there. That's not a metaphor, literally. It looks like a comic book in there.
Not all
Emerald.
parasites want to take over.
No, only 1 in 4.
The other dentist prescribed Crest.
Core said
Yeah.
that once a parasite takes over and the host becomes incoherent, that's the last host they can take.
Huh.
Oh.
Amarok doesn't like you all. They also
Really?
want to eat me.
Huh.
I mean, that's not great.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
How
not a fan of that.
likely do you think that would be the outcome in the near future? Are you in danger, Yuri?
Where is Yuri's coherency?
2!
There's about an 80% chance it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me double check.
2?
Yeah. I've been taking hits to my coherency.
He had to dabble down to do
Well, he
me
did it
stuff,
purposefully at first,
for a
and then
while.
and then as I started hitting you harder with things, it just a little bit more.
The double
Yeah.
check on coherency a couple of
Yeah.
sessions ago really
Right.
hurt.
That wrecked me.
I
That was the
forgot
first
about
time I went
that.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went down twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Mine's 6.
5.
Must be
4.
nice.
We've all
You
taken
asked
some
for
hits.
this.
Well, here's the thing. If any of y'all have script, like extra script to spend, I think you can regain coherency with
You
script
can.
With GM permission.
with
Yes.
GM permission.
And I
And
will.
I feel like this is a very good narrative situation for us to start regaining coherency if that is our choice.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, if this whole experience, I don't know if anybody has the script right now, you don't need it right now, but if you choose to spend script, this would be a good reason to,
We'll just see where the night takes us.
yeah.
Some
Some of you seem like you want to go incoherent.
1 and 4.
Is there a name for the drug that the admins are taking?
Delirium.
Oh.
The one
What I
is
keep
that
calling
what
it.
is?
Red Illyrium.
Oh, I'm
No.
I'm making a Dragon
That's
Age
from
shirt.
Dragon Age.
Oh, okay.
No, I hadn't given it a
Delirium
name.
is the drug in Dragon Age that the Templars take to
This is a
boost their
great.
Magic
powers and
powers.
keep their shit under control.
Oh, that sounds exactly like what we're doing.
Mhm.
This is a great opportunity to make a pun, like a word-based pun. I don't know if I have it in me right now, but like we gotta,
Well, let's
Like, it's something
crowdsource
that-
it.
yeah, let's crowdsource it.
I wanted to go
Um,
with something based on the word conjugate, but
Ooh.
That good
I was literally about to start singing Conjunction Junction.
Words
Well,
and phrases and
Is the
sounds.
dosage an injection or is it a smoke? Because conja instead of conja. Hey man, I got that good Zaza over here. You
Bro
want
is
to conjure in
just
a bit?
sparking up.
yeah. No, it's
It's medicinal. It's medicinal.
Conjugate could also be like a coagulant.
Hmm.
Joined. Oh, in a mathematics definition, it means being joined in a reciprocal relation.
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal relation. That sounds like parslings in a nutshell.
Reciprocal. Like one of those
Reciprocal.
drugs that you see online that has like
Ah.
Yeah,
a million
like
side
reciprocal.
Reciprocal.
yeah.
Recip
Side effects
for
include explosive diarrhea and yeah.
Hi, my name is Roy, and every day I wake up in pain, but we'll reciprocal.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call
Yeah,
it
okay.
reciprocal.
I like
Let's just spell
reciprocal,
like
and
the
then they
last.
call it like recip for short.
Oh,
Yeah.
recip.
I like that.
Got a
I like that too. All right, but let's spell it with an O instead of an A at the end. Reciprocal,
call.
Reciprocal.
Okay.
because that's
Damn,
very
so
medicine.
we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do I
Parslings,
fucking
hire
put
us.
this in my notes?
like that. I put it in the
Chat.
Twitch chat. Neat.
Oh,
Cool.
their signage is like the medical R, ECIPRO.
Yes. Love that. Love that.
Nice. I love that. You know what? We do some pretty cool world building in this game.
I think so. I agree.
Not bad.
Wholeheartedly.
All right. Back in the
Sometimes we get
scene-
some good shit going.
Well, Yuri, if you feel like you're in danger, then we could probably see if you can get a prescription for some reciprocal.
It's not killing me. That's the thing.
You would know too. So the reciprocal is essentially it suppresses
All
parasites.
about suppression.
Yeah. So it would work for. I would say it would probably be something that might work to increase coherency.
It would work, but it would like, I don't know. Would that be in danger of taking him out of action?
Yeah, I want to almost come up with a way that like if you take that, you can gain coherency, but you lose something else. Like you can gain coherency, but maybe
But
lose
lose, like,
articulation.
No, my
At the
articulation.
cost of articulation. Ooh. Well, we'd have to look at the
Because you guys can always re-up your articulation and stuff again.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
those
I think we'd have
stores.
to look at the script cost of articulation versus coherency, like
Yeah.
which one.
Yeah, I can look at that right
But
now, and I'll come up with
One
something.
is more. What's it? One is more. Kind of important to your character versus like I can parse a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah, well, I would say it'd be probably a pretty big thing. Like taking a dose of reciprocal would like increase your coherency like a lot, but it would reduce your it would probably increase your coherency by like a couple of levels and reduce your articulation as a result.
I think maybe a 3 to 2.
I was looking at the thing right now to see like what the costs are for the two. And
Did
so that you-
anyone else's parasite want to kill anyone?
Wait, what?
Was that? Did anyone else's parasite want to kill anyone, or was
I'm-
that just Yuri's?
Oh gosh, Amaris,
Oh.
I'm sorry. I thought your parasite wanted you to kill someone else.
I'm sorry.
No,
Let me
no.
clear that up. My parasite doesn't want to kill everyone. It wants to consume.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the base instinct of parasites. It could be that you just need some more time. Your parasite was synthetically created in a lab. So it's possible that rules are different than for the rest of us. What I'm saying is that it's up to you what you decide to do, Yuri. It's just know the risks and
Talk to your
care
doctor.
about you. Yeah, talk to your doctor.
It lasts
talk
more
to your
than
doctor
4
to see if
hours.
reciprocal is right for you.
It's right for you.
I just
I used
I
to have
don't-
driving urges that made me want to eat my friends, but with reciprocal.
I'm worried about you. So
Thanks for worrying about me. I think I have it handled so far, though.
Okay. Core says she thinks we all are pretty powerful when we work together.
I think Cora's right.
Yeah, that
And
makes
she
sense
says
to me.
she's had like 5 other hosts before me, so I guess I trust her judgment.
But what?
She's had other hosts before me.
What happened to the other hosts?
Yes, they died. She says it was over several centuries.
But I thought once the host dies, the parsec takes over the body.
I guess none of them ever went incoherent.
Interesting. Sounds like we have a lot to learn from parasites. This is going to be really important information for us to take back, and this could change everything.
Yuri reaches over the table for a bottle of Pedialyte. Gets a sip on that.
We eat.
Are we going home?
I
Well,
think
we
still have
promised to
some
help
work
out.
do.
We promised to help out Deo. So
All right.
after that, yes.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else they need from us. I don't know if we'll ever be able to thank them for what they've given us.
We can just walk up to them and say thank you. It's the intent that counts, right?
Yeah, I would also remember y'all might have forgotten from last time too. They had offered, because they're going to be looking into what Cloud found in the city too, and asked if you would help. If you, I don't know if y'all necessarily made a decision. Said that you could do this regardless. Like they would take you through this process regardless.
Well, we did. We did decide. We said that they
Yeah.
are friends, so we would do it.
You would do.
Yeah.
Okay,
We made a big whole deal about this
Okay.
decision.
gotcha.
Someone
They
should
are
probably
friends.
someone should probably update Evelyn about what we're doing before, she finds out through other means.
Right, that's a good idea. Why don't you guys finish eating? I'll be right back.
Let her know about the tank too, and
Yeah, that's-
how the Coyote had it, and maybe whoever we're working with is the one supplying them, and all that stuff.
Way ahead of you. There's a lot of paperwork about that.
Okay.
Yuri takes
Anything
a
else?
fra-
He says, flipping out his phone.
Are you gonna finish that?
No, you can have that.
Thank you.
Did any of your parasites ask you for anything?
My body.
Right.
Hope just wants to see new things.
Conveniently, Mori walks away at this point to go and call Evelyn.
I noticed he avoided me asking repeatedly what the name of his parasite was.
Whoops!
He must not have heard me. I'm quiet. That happens.
Oh no, that's just Wings forgetting the name.
That's very likely, but Mori is being dodgy about it.
That's kind of what I wrote it off as. Even if it wasn't intentional, we're just gonna say that that's what it was.
All right. So Mori's going to go call Evelyn with an update, and the rest of you are going to finish snacking until we move on to what y'all want to do next. Okay. I did have a thought for reciprocal. Here's what I'm thinking that I want to do with it, instead of actually like playing around with your stats and stuff. So I was thinking taking a dose of reciprocal, essentially, if you are at 1 or more coherency, will stabilize your coherency at 7, but you lose the ability to parse or to use parse abilities. And that lasts 24 hours. You have to continue to take doses of it every 24 hours to maintain that effect.
Right.
That way, like, if somebody's at 1 coherency and needs to save up like the script in order to try to bump up their coherency or breach like the narrative or have like the narrative means to increase their coherency, they can essentially stall for that time, but it cannot be used at somebody who has already gone incoherent. They're gone. So how does that sound?
I like it.
Sounds that
Narratively
sounds-
perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So might be
Mechanical
worth-
nightmare, narratively perfect.
Is there? So you have to take it every 24 hours in order for it to re-up.
Yes. Yeah.
Does your coherency drop incrementally after that, or does it drop immediately back to what it was?
So yeah,
before?
after 24 hours, you would go back to wherever you were before. So it would be like Yuri goes down to 1 coherency, and y'all are in a situation you're worried about Yuri losing that last coherency. Yuri could take the reciprocal, and it essentially would lose the ability to use their parceling.
like the reciprocal
abilities.
tablet in your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you'd lose the ability to use your parse sight based abilities. You still use any traits or talents and stuff that were not directly tied to your parsite, your ability to parse. But you'd be stabilized while you continue to take doses of reciprocal.
All right.
And you wouldn't be subject to like more further coherency checks. So
Yeah, I think that's mechanically perfect.
yeah, I like it.
Normal SpongeBob, but Yuri. Hi there, how's the weather?
What?
Okay, let's do the phone call with Evelyn, and then we'll take our break and come back for the rest. So, yeah, Mori, you step outside into the morning air. I realized, I think I said it would be morning, but if it was 12 hours and y'all came first thing in the morning the day before, it would actually be evening again.
Yeah.
Y'all's sleep schedule is gonna be so fucked up at this point.
What
yeah.
else is new?
What else is new? Yeah, so you step out into the cool desert air and bust out your sat phone and call Evelyn.
Yep.
I think you get routed, and then Evelyn picks up and says, Mori, everything going
Hey,
all
Ev.
right?
Oh yeah, it's going great.
Good.
We've made contact, and we are learning. God, Ev, the things that we're learning here is going to change everything.
That's great to hear. Honestly, better than I could have hoped. I can't wait to get the full report. Is there anything you can tell me right now?
Ev, I talked to my parsite. We all did.
I'm sorry, you did what?
We've made contact.
Like, you spoke to your parsite like you had a conversation with...
Right. Yeah.
How?
Well, there's a lot to explain. These people are incredible, Ev. They've really cracked everything about this. They've developed a method for introducing someone to a parse with like minimal threat of death or complications. It's mind-blowing.
I mean, that sounds like it's exactly what we're looking for. I mean, that would change everything. It could save a lot of people from worrying about infection. If you have the details, just make sure you write them down, and you can pass them on to me once you get back, and we can work out a way to maybe implement it, whatever the process is, on a larger scale.
Right.
And this is something that they're doing within the Tinta, not something that they've implemented in the city or anywhere else.
No, this is the Tinta. Speaking of which, we're going to be here for a little bit longer. They have a few things that they need us to help them with.
All right. Well, I'll take it that it's important. I mean, building up good relationships with this group would be excellent. So whatever you can do to help them, and maybe learn more in the process, that would be excellent.
It is. And that being said, some of these things that we need to do for them probably aren't going to make it into the report.
Right. So maybe a bit of... We'll consider it off the books. Just don't get into too much trouble, okay?
Well, you know me. I never get into trouble.
I just don't want to be starting an international incident with our first mission, so...
Oh, perish the thought. I'll do my best.
All right. Well, you four have discretion to handle the situation however you see fit. Just don't, like I said, go start any wars.
Right. We'll do our best. One more thing, Ev. We need to talk.
That's ominous.
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing to say about an impending conversation.
We're talking now, Mori. What do you need to know?
I told you that I spoke to my Parsite.
Right. I'm still not
Well-
entirely sure about the logistics of that, but I believe you.
He filled me in on a few things that happened that day.
What day?
The day that I became bound to him.
Oh. Right.
But it just occurred to me that we haven't really talked much about that. And he was able to fill in a few blanks for me. But there are things that you know that he didn't. And we don't have to talk about it right now. I just wanted to let you know.
Right. Yes, maybe better we had that conversation in person.
I thought so.
Mori, there's a reason why I don't talk about that, but I sort of assumed you'd ask eventually.
There's a reason why I didn't ask. But I guess I also knew that we would talk about it eventually.
All right. I appreciate at least knowing the conversation's coming instead of the being left with, we need to talk. So, at least...
Yeah, I didn't want to spring that on you. I've had some unpleasant surprises in the past few hours, and I didn't want to pay that forward.
I appreciate that. Okay. We'll discuss it when you get back.
Sure thing. Care about you.
And I care about you too. As your boss, though, don't go causing any trouble.
Yes, ma'am. Click.
All right. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place for us to break. So, while y'all are eating and recuperating, we will go ahead and take our short break here, and then we will come back and get into further shenanigans. So thanks everyone out there for watching. We will be back very soon to continue our session. We appreciate you sticking with us, and we will see you back here very soon. Stay tuned. Hello, Internet. Welcome back. We're done with our break. Let's get back to it. So, where we left off, some of you were snacking. Mori just finished a phone call. I don't know where y'all want to pick up, because I don't know if you have any personal business you want to get to. I know Amaris wanted to talk to Deo. Was there anything else anybody wanted to do before we get into this next planning sesh?
Just hear the plap plap of Yuri's bare feet on the floor as he walks out. Oh, my clothes. Walks back.
Just walk around naked.
We're just
He's
all
in his
so
boxers.
used to seeing Yuri like basically naked at this point.
So y'all go back to the camp, leaving the temple behind, and yeah, I mean, you find it's evening. It's not the same festivities that it was the night before, but there's people sitting around drinking, eating, and enjoying themselves. A lot of them saying hi as you come through. You being very much welcome members of the community now, and yeah, if there's, I guess, Amaris, we can do your thing first if you want to find Deo. I think Deo's just sitting at a table with a few of the other members of the caravan, and engaged in some, probably like a low stakes card game or something. Well, when you approach and sees you and the others.
It's gonna take a moment.
Oh, okay.
Because I think she stands up like okay, I'm gonna do this, and then sees Deo with a bunch of other people, stands up slowly, starts walking that way, turns back around, like walks back to her seat, stops herself, turns around, walks there, gets about halfway before turning around this time,
Amaris,
finishes her
okay?
beer.
You're walking in
Okay.
circles.
I'm good. Action. Action. Act, don't punch. Okay. And then she'll walk over to Deo.
Yeah, Deo's finishing up cards and sees you kind of skulking up from behind, and gives a head nod as he lays down his hand and looks up in your direction. Amar says, Amars, are you doing all right? Do you need anything?
Says something incoherently.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Could I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, we can't do that every time we say the word incoherent.
Words mean things.
He says, yeah, I'm getting my butt kicked anyway. I'm gonna bow out of this, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the game. Stands up. Kind of walks off to the side, motioning for you to follow.
She'll trot off behind him.
Says, what's going on? Anything from earlier? Or
No, it went well, I think. I don't have anything to base that on, but I think it went well.
good. So what's bothering you?
No, nothing. I'm sorry. I have that face that looks like something's wrong most of the time. You'd said that maybe we could talk about, says something incoherently, talk about your sword and how it's kind of like my bow.
Right. Okay, sure. Looks around, trying to think of a good spot to brandish weaponry in. Looks over towards. They have a kind of a set up garage area, and leads you over that way. There's a vehicle in here, but there's also some benches with like weapons on them, mostly guns and other armaments, and moves over to an empty section of them and says, okay, so your bow, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you go and put it on the table?
Take it off her back. Sets it down.
He looks over it, kind of moving a little closer to him, and inspects it a little bit, and then looks up at you and says, so how long have you been training with it?
8 or 9 months.
Okay. Just the bow?
Yeah.
So you've spoken with your Parsai now.
Core.
Core. What was your impression?
She's interesting. Well, I guess we have some interests in common. Anyway, I don't know, I didn't ask her about the bow. I should have. I didn't think about it.
That's fine. It's probably not important that you it's not something you really need to talk about. It's more something you have to feel. Let me explain. And takes the sword off of his back and puts it on the table next to the bow. And as he looks it over, I mean, it is a nice sword, but you can also see, like, looking at it, it's well taken care of, but it does look like it's gotten a lot of wear and tear. He hasn't unsheathed it or anything, but just from the scabbard,
I don't want to go again.
yeah,
So.
just from the scabbard, you can tell that, like, this is something that he probably carries on him constantly. I mean, you haven't seen him without it, and he says, my mother gave me this. I've had divinity since I was, well, old enough to walk. And I've trained with it for a long time. I'm not trying to say that to discourage you and say that you need that same amount of time to reach this point. It's not about the weapon. It's about seeing the weapon as a symbol, a totem, a giving it meaning beyond what it actually is. Because you look at your bow and you see a bow. What you have to do is look at it and see something different, to know that this is unique. This isn't a motion to his sword. He says, this isn't a sword to me. This is divinity. This is something that I consider holy, something that I consider above all else. It is the embodiment of that word and its meaning to me. It's not so much about having a special item or something that holds meaning to you. In fact, I almost might find it more difficult with something. It took me a long time to bridge that gap, to not look at this as a relic or a symbol of something that my parents had passed down to me. And to see it as something new and see it as an extension of my Parsight's interpretation and influence on the world. So the fact that this bow that you carry, it might have less personal significance to you, may make that process a bit easier in imparting it with this new meaning. So as far as how to do this and how to take your gift to the next level, because you've already, from what I understand, you've already begun the first part of it. You have seen it as this extension of yourself, and you have been able to imbue it with an aspect of your power. The next step is more internal. It's the way you perceive. This is not a bow. This is an artifact. It is something that holds meaning beyond what it is and what its purpose is. All of that starts with a name. It starts with a word. And you have to decide what that is. And from there, the rest will follow.
Can you give me a second?
I would give yourself time with it. Don't rush it.
Okay.
But if you need me, I'll be outside.
Okay.
He takes his sword and he leaves the room.
Just with it on the table, pulls up like a folding chair, sits down, sort of puts her hands on the bow either side. What's your name?
Jeffrey.
And I
Lil
guess
Lloyd.
yeah, I guess
I'm
it's
Paul.
just- I'm Buddy. Yeah, I think she'll just kind of sit there and, concentrate for a while, and I think kind of do that whole stream of consciousness thing of trying to like do a little word association. That sort of worked last time, but and try to come up with a word. And I think eventually, I don't know how much time passes, but she opens her eyes and she says, dusk. And that sounds right.
Yeah. I think as you again, as you start to sit there, I think it's like a minute of like repeating it through your head, and just like this item has a name, and that name gives it meaning, and this is not a bow, it's dusk. And so there's like a lot of time, like you sitting there just kind of, or standing there just kind of like talking to this bow, either in your head or out loud, and repeating that. Yeah, I'm trying to. So I know we talked about. You gave me your idea for your ability with it. Did you? Is that still what you wanted to go with from the last time you?
Yeah, and I think she can still make it fit within sort of the suggestions that both Core and her mom, I suppose, have given her of, yes, it will have this ability, but this ability will allow her to take action.
Okay.
As opposed to hide away.
Yeah. I will leave that. We'll leave it ambiguous for the audience and the other players right now what that is until you use it. But because I think this is the time of you, like fully wrapping your head around that conscious effort, giving it this effect. I do need to still come up with the mechanics of it, but we'll do that in the moment when it comes up, because I have a rough idea. But
Cool.
I think at the very basic, you have to spend a syllable to activate it. So
Cool.
Yeah, you have now your
My
bow
artifact.
has transcended to an artifact. Okay, so anything else for the rest of you?
I have a question.
Yes.
Did Tinta use I know they have technology and stuff. They have cell
Mhm.
phones and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get Luca's phone number?
Okay.
And I a couple of days ago, so he doesn't think anything about it. So the only thing I've texted him is, "Hey, this is Aiden." I text him a screenshot of the 3 dots that show up on the phone when you're typing. And I don't text him anything else.
Literal worst.
It's a prank, bro.
It's terrible.
That's pretty equivalent to jelly in the
Yeah.
sleeping bag.
I still
feel.
have yet to damage any of his things, because that would be a
Except
bad
with,
prank.
yeah.
Damage his psyche.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like you used jelly on his anxiety, is what you've just done.
I don't think Luca has anxiety.
Everyone has a little bit of anxiety.
Especially when those 3 dots are concerned.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I
Yeah,
just texted
there's
him
just
that.
a couple of moments like throughout the dinner, like Luca's over at a different table and just like looking down at his phone, like looking up towards
If I
Aiden.
feel him looking at me, like look at my phone, I shake my head, put it in my pocket.
I think the way you can make that worse is first you send "we need to talk" and then a picture of the 3 dots.
I thought about doing that after I thought of this prank earlier when Mori told Evelyn they needed to talk. And then I was like, no, that seems too mean.
I'm like clearly not all there today because like those are the worst words that can come out of someone's mouth.
Yep. Horrible. Yep, that's what I do. That's it.
I love it. We will address that later. When you wake up the next morning and
I'm
Luca's
covered in
coming out, it's
jelly.
like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? But we'll do that in a bit. Is there anything else anybody wants to do besides pranks?
Oh, I'll go talk to my best friend, Luca.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good. He can ask Amaris about
Oh, I can change this
Yeah.
to less sinister music. I realize I still have it on the profiler music.
We need sinister music for the Luca conversation.
Yeah, Luca's just sitting down eating dinner, occasionally looking down at his phone.
I think just apropos of nothing, walks up and says, "Have you found your sword's name yet?"
Oh, hey Mars.
Hey.
Oh, you talked to Dale?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not yet. Hasn't really come to me. I have a hard time with this than Deo does. My vocabulary isn't exactly where his is, and have a harder time sort of wrapping my head around some of this stuff. I thought about explosion, but that didn't work.
Okay. Anything else?
I did think about Shazam for a bit too.
I don't know if you can force a word on it.
What do you mean?
Well, if you just sat with it and kind of asked it what its name is.
No, I haven't tried that.
Maybe that would help. Deo said it was kind of like talking to your parasite. Because I didn't name my parasite, it already had a name, but we shared something together.
Huh. Guess I could try that. I have a hard time listening sometimes. Waiting for other people to talk. So looks down at phone again, looks back up, says, so I'm, yeah. Okay. I'll try that.
Okay.
Oh, you're better at this stuff than I am.
I don't know. I like words.
Well, you seem smart. You and your friends, at least. Four of you are clearly very smart. Me, not so much.
Don't say that. You seem really smart.
No, like, I'm fine with it. I'm not. I mean, Cloud and Deo are way smarter than I am. I'm good at other stuff.
Well, that's a form of intelligence.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm the smartest Luca I know, so.
You're the smartest Luca I know, too.
I'll take that.
She keeps in her head that she doesn't know any other Lucas.
So,
anyway, I know you'd been working on it, and I had a little bit of a breakthrough, so I thought I'd share.
I appreciate that. So, did you figure it out? You like?
I think so.
So, what's its name?
She just takes the bow off her shoulder. Luca, meet Dusk. Dusk, meet Luca.
I like it.
Again, I just kind of asked it, and it kind of told me.
So what does Dusk do?
I have an idea, but I haven't tried it out yet.
Well, hopefully you get the chance soon.
Hopefully.
You okay?
Oh, I just mean I'm not always hopeful to get into a fight, but sometimes it's important.
Well, if it's anything like Deo's, I'm sure that it'll be very helpful. Deo's is good at stopping fights.
I suppose that might be possible. Maybe stopping them quicker. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't ask. So you figured out your parsling's or your parsite's name?
Yeah. Her name's Core.
I like that.
I think it might be short for Corvid.
That sort of fits.
She was nice. She was a lot more outgoing than me.
Yeah, it can be like that. Sometimes the things that sometimes people get along with aren't exactly just like us.
What's your Parsite's name?
Motto.
Oh. I like that.
RJ, I saw that.
RJ's thinking he's slick this whole stream, and we're catching everything you do, mofo.
Oh no, that was on purpose.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, I had a real hard time with it. Again, like the getting locked in. I was very nervous getting into that thing.
Yeah, Aiden wasn't really a fan either.
Is that what he's trying to talk to me about?
Huh?
No, Aiden's just been typing a message for a while, and I was just waiting for him to respond. So I'm worried. Is he okay?
I think so. He's usually really quick about it. Like he types out 8 at a time.
Just typing a lot.
Did something happen?
Not that I know of.
Did you get in a fight or something?
No. Unless, is he mad about the sleeping bag?
Sleeping bag.
I filled his sleeping bag with grape jelly.
That's pretty good.
I mean, he started it, put
He
all
puts
my
the jelly in
underwear.
your sleeping bag?
Nope. Took all my underwear and put it on the weather vane. I had to climb up on the caravan to get it down.
Oh. You do know this means war, right?
Yeah. Is he
Good
doing this
luck.
just to mess with me? Or is he mad? If
It's
he's mad at me, will you let me know?
I can guarantee he's not mad at you. It's pretty much impossible to make Aiden mad.
Okay. Well, I'll just see what he ends up sending.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
thanks for the
I mean-
advice. I appreciate it.
For sure. Well, have a good night.
You too. Did you eat? Did you need anything?
Oh no, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'll go get something.
All right. Well, I'll be here.
Okay. Bye. And she just walks away, not knowing how to finish a conversation.
Nobody in this series ever knows how to finish a conversation. We just hang up on people. All right. Anything else?
There's just this loud fuck that people can hear, and then just a Yuri turns to Amaris. I got into Aiden's sleeping bag.
Double prank.
Double prank.
Unintentional prank.
Somebody else can say triple prank.
Collateral damage.
Over prank.
Frankamanjaro.
Pranktacular.
Prank him in a body bag.
That is exactly what happened. Uh,
Got him with the old jelly bag.
God. Gross. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we can move past that and get on to the next little bit of this job. So,
Mori does paperwork until he's needed.
what paperwork? Did you bring paperwork with you?
He's writing a report about
Okay.
the tree and also everything that's happened.
I was imagining like Mori brought some of his office work with him to do.
I mean, he's
all-
a senator now, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's working remote. Like,
Yeah.
A laptop, a hotspot, just set up, a cup of coffee. I know the time difference is quite a bit, but thank you for hopping into the Zoom call.
no, I don't doubt that that's a part of it, but like, he's mostly writing a report for current events.
So what we're gonna do is bail out the banks. Too
Not
topical?
the banks.
Too topical.
absolutely not.
He's 100% like funneling all of his resources into public transportation.
Everything needs to be wheelchair accessible by the end of the year.
That's 100% what it is.
That is my campaign goal.
Oh, I thought you were about to say that's my king.
I don't know how
Accessibility
likely it
is
is.
my kink.
Accessibility is a
my
kink,
kink.
yeah.
100%.
I don't know how likely it is for us to actually like get into any of his like senator responsibilities, but Tyler and I were talking about it, and he 100% like is a huge fanboy of another senator out there because they like, frontlined a bill that made sure that the like public transportation in
Mhm.
Ward 47 was like hella good. It's like, you don't
Yeah.
realize they were instrumental.
Yeah, okay, old man. Time to put you down for bed. Okay, grandpa.
I do like that. I want to have you meet your like public servant.
Oh, never meet your
superhero.
heroes. No, they're gonna be a douche.
When have I ever done that? When have I ever taken a character and secretly made them y'all's?
Oh, what's the name of the senator that like pushed him to become a public servant?
Oh, it was Davian List.
Davian List and Mori are about to become such good friends, considering that the friction of their previous relationship has just been readily resolved.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't like the sound of that.
I'll have to get into that eventually.
I have non-committal.
So,
I
what's
hate
your-
that.
We're great friends now.
Uh-huh. That you know about.
Mhm. Yep.
This is fine.
So the next day, I think you all get up the next morning and we'll just smash cut to a meeting with the siblings, and you're planning this trip into Auto Metro. I think Deo is sort of heading it up, but Cloud has been giving some updates too. Because Cloud filled y'all. Yeah, we had a conversation about it last time. We talked about Cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made a Johnny Cash joke, so I'm almost
Yes.
positive.
I hurt myself today.
Me, I did.
So yeah, you're all in this probably the same like workshop as before, and packing up one of the vehicles, and Deo says, "All right, so we're gonna head into Auto Metro and head over to the to Gilded. That's where, from the information I have, Cash has been working out of. So,
Gilded?
mm-hmm. It's the name of a nightclub on the east side. It's GLDED, all caps.
GLDED.
The club itself is run by a local gang that runs out of the east side called the Strikers. We shouldn't be getting in any issues with them on their turf, but we'll need to try to keep a low profile. Objective here is just to get in, see if we can corner Cash and get some information from him while he's been setting up these deals. For that, I'll be transporting y'all. We'll go in together. Luca, you and Cloud are gonna stay here and keep watch things back at the caravan. And Cloud says, "Oh, come on, I'm fine. Really, let's just let me come with you. I'm the one that found all of this anyway." And Deo puts a hand and says, "Cloud, you were just kidnapped. I'm not doing that again. Okay? You're gonna take good job. I appreciate your help on this, but I'm gonna run this one. This is my area of expertise." And Cloud gets in a huff and crosses her arms and sits back down on the stool. Looks across to the four of you. Any questions? Should be pretty straightforward.
So we just need to talk to this Cash, right?
Mm-hmm. That's it. Like I said, should be easy. So when y'all ready to go, we can head out. It's a few hours to get into the city. So
Have you got any incentives over cash as far as information goes?
I was mostly going in the I won't gut him where he stands kind of direction, but
Right. These kinds of people, that is a particular language that you can speak with them, but they're used to that. They speak a different language.
yeah. I've had run-ins with him before. He's probably gonna try to squeeze us for all we've got if we don't come in strong, so he should buckle.
Is he afraid of you?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Which, like I said, should work for our advantage in working with him. With the strikers, maybe not so much. They're a
So
bit
we
more
need to
inclined
get him alone.
Which I don't know if he's tied up with them because he's cut some sort of deal with them too, or he's just has permission to work off their turf. I don't know the full arrangement. I've been out of the city for a while.
Tell me more about the strikers.
They're a side gang. They run black market stims to most of the metro area. The leader of their gang, her name is B. She's been around the block a few times, been running their gang for a while now, since I've been in the city at least. So like I said, most of their operations comes in running these stems. They're a pretty hard lot. It comes with some of them can be a bit twitchy. So if it does get to a well, if things get violent, they could escalate real quick.
Is he under their protection?
That I don't know.
Do we have any incentives for the strikers?
Other than my head, I don't. What do you have in mind?
Well, he's not gonna cave so long as he feels like he's got a meat shield. So what it sounds to me is we've got a fox and chicken in a boat scenario where we need to get him in front of you without the strikers around.
Oh, that's fine. Me can just stay inside. Takes care
Thing
of
is
Fox,
that like
right?
Mori would like fully like break out of this like hard ass like act and be all like, no, Yuri, what I'm referring to is a thought experiment, and I'll like fully explain the whole thing.
Oh, it's like the trolley problem.
Something like that, yeah. Where like the trolley problem is more philosophical, but the chicken in the boat is literally just a riddle. There's a logistical solution to that.
We take out the meat shield.
That's a possible approach. I have been told not to cause too much of an incident out here.
Oh, that's fine. I
So-
can cause more of the incident than you.
I mean, we all have.
Okay, I get it now.
Evelyn has given us orders to keep this as quiet as possible.
I'm gonna stop talking and just start listening again.
I mean, we'll call it a plan B. Speaking of which, this B, is that just the letter B, the animal B, or is this
no,
short for
like-
something
Like the insect.
like an insect? All right, cool. Yeah, that's what I wrote down. That's out of character. All right. Is there any way, out of character, is there any way for us to do some like research on these guys and then like maybe like try and find an edge on them?
Sure.
We haven't pulled any cards today. Like,
if y'all if y'all want to, a couple options. I mean, I would probably say if y'all want to do like research, it'd be a little more like kind of hit the streets thing. Maybe you go into the city and poke around while Deo lays low, and then you plan on going in together later on.
Can we all change out of our Mad Max leathers and like put on fucking like cyberpunk city studs now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Another costume change. I like
Alternate
it.
costumes.
I want a trench coat. I already had a trench coat. It's a different trench coat. It's got glow in the dark bits.
it's a big purple trench coat with like neon green accents.
I'm gonna wear a transparent raincoat with a bikini underneath.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's about as cyberpunk as it gets.
No, that's the lady. That's one of the aliens pretending to be the very sexy lady with the shaved head, wearing the bikini with a thong underneath a mini skirt that's completely see-through. Anyone?
The mask.
Fifth Element.
Oh, Fifth Element. Okay.
Fifth
yeah,
Element.
yeah.
Anyone? No. Okay.
I'm referring literally.
That one was
to
love, right?
a side character in Blade Runner.
A lot of mesh tops, random elbow and knee pads.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna do something different for Yuri. Walks out of like a trailer that he's dressed up as. Like he looks corpo, hair tied back, just slick outfit. This feels weird. There's not enough movement.
Again, corporate wear is a way to restrict not only your body but your soul.
Huh.
Any other
Why-
costume changes?
Oh,
But you also look nice.
is that why women are upset about corsets?
Yes.
Also, like the rib situation. Aiden is wearing the casual, the Hitman Miami casual suit. So like a nice like purple button down and slacks
Okay.
and dress shoes. Belt.
All right. So we have two very nicely dressed. Mori wearing the mesh with the bikini underneath. Amaris.
Yes.
That was a joke.
Nope, you made it canon.
That's like
Wait, no.
it's
I
purple shirt, white slacks.
I connected with my inner id, and now all of a sudden, just like horny all the time.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it be like that. No, we're going with a different sex cells. We're gonna go with like a fucking cyberpunk. Like he's literally just wearing like the suit and tie and like the regular like button up and tie underneath, but he throws on a trench coat and he's gonna also wear like a fedora, like a literal actual fedora, not a trilby. Like we're gonna go like private eye, like cyberpunk private eye.
Okay. Amaris.
I think just sort of pulls out what she's been wearing over when she goes to Cinecor to help with like the computer stuff, like just a black button down, maybe like a little vest, also black, like pencil skirt, black leggings, black boots, pulls her hair back. Still wearing the sunglasses though, which might be the only pop of color because her eyes, as far as I know, are still just sclera black.
Oh no, sorry, I forgot about your eyes. Those after your after your thing, your dip in the tank, you have relieved that condition.
Woohoo! All right, well then gives the glasses back to Aiden. No color. All black.
No capes.
No capes.
No capes. All right. So yeah, if y'all's plan is to do a little bit of scouting around the area, a little bit of research, then we can do that. Dea will take you into the city, and then y'all can look around. Let me get some cyberpunk music going. Let me see. I don't have my playlist for Neon Souls anymore.
Also, just for the fans out there, it was incorrect. It's Hitman's Colombian casual outfit, not the Miami one. The Miami one's a polo.
Yeah, you would have gotten so many tweets about that.
It's actually from Hitman 2 and not 3.
I'm
But
so glad you caught that.
You know what it is? There's an instrumental part of Mori's wardrobe, and it's the
Gun?
It's the vest piece.
Okay.
yes. Vest with chain.
Suit vest, yeah. Because underneath that suit vest is where his body armor is.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had body armor. Let's see. Where's my cyberpunk?
Oh my god.
There we go.
I also need like a pair of sunglasses that are like a color.
Are they
I
like
bet
regular?
Aiden has some you can borrow.
Are they
Ugh.
are they like regular sunglasses or are they the shutter shades?
Like party shades?
You've never seen shutter shades? They're the stupidest
what?
thing.
Like shutter shades that like have like
The ones
lines
that
across
don't
them.
actually-
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
got your
right?
glasses, and then you flip it down, and then there's sunglasses. Yeah.
Okay, yes, he has those, but only with the raincoat outfit.
There are a pair of sunglasses out there that actually pinch to the bridge of your nose and
God.
I'm enjoying all the art that y'all are putting in there. Okay, now we've got the fashion. This was the
Hell
most
yeah.
important part of the session today.
Yes.
It always
we've got
is.
True.
Nothing else prepared.
really quick Val.
Yeah.
This is the place to get cyberware, right?
Yes.
There's one piece I'm on the lookout for. It is the Deus Ex sunglasses that are from like the sides of the irises and they click forward.
I also wanted to get cool
Yes.
cyber sunglasses.
Those are super rad. They're little.
If y'all want to go shopping while you're in the city, there's some. I'll say,
glammed up.
yeah. You get in Deo's ride, his vehicle. I think it takes a different car. It's not like one of the big like four wheelers, or not like a big like truck or something with the caravan. This is a mag lifted like almost like a luxury vehicle that's been polished up. They probably have for like visits into the city. It's completely black, like to the point like cyberpunk futuristic, like there's no seams between like the windows and the sides of the vehicle. It's all just like seems like one piece of metal around it. Yeah, it takes you into the
bullet
city.
bill.
Yeah, you were driving in a bullet bill. It's got the
So we're in a
big-
buggy at first, and then we hit like a glass box, and then we hear a roulette sound, and then
yeah.
I just thought it'd be
You're
fun
about,
if maybe it
damn
had a
blue
bullet
shell."
bill face on the front.
No, we can't have two Mario Kart references in a single stream.
Oh, we've never
every single
referenced
day.
the same thing more than once during a stream.
Yeah. All right. But you head into the city, leaving the wastes through the sort of reactor fields that they have just between these wastes and on a metro, arriving back into the city that you didn't get to see from street level last time. Since you sort of flew in from above and then immediately left in the transport, as you are kind of coming in at street level, following the roads, along with the copious amount of traffic here. You see these like oppressive buildings towering like hundreds of stories above you, interwoven, kind of interconnected with walkways at like every 20-30 floors between most of the buildings. There's a little bit of foot traffic on the street level. You can see carts and sort of storefronts and people crowding around on foot. The entire area is more of this like there's a sort of like dense smog in the region that it kind of cuts off your ability to see the sun. Everything is kind of dim, dusky, and undercut by this the neon lights that come from these hollow projected ads along the sides of buildings, cutting streaks of pinks and blues and greens through the haze in front of you. It's a much different experience, like I think I mentioned before, than Sinnoh, which is much more open and kind of airy and kind of a little more like coastal because it is an island. This is very different than anything you've experienced before, and you are driven through the city towards the east side by Deo, who takes the vehicle down to ground level as you get close to your destination, and says, all right, the club is going to be up there on the left at the end of this row. You can get a good view of it from here. I'm going to take the car around and find a place to lay low for a bit. Unfortunately, if I walk around here too much, somebody's going to recognize me, so I need to try to keep a low profile. I'll have my phone on, so just give me a ring when you're ready, and we can reconvene when we're ready to make our move.
Right. Just don't be seen.
Yeah, I will not. You all unload out of the car. There's a little bit of like a dusting of, you presume, rain from above as you exit the vehicle, and then it hovers and then takes off down the behind you, banking around the corner. And you can see, I'll put you in one position so you can kind of get the general layout, and then we can go ahead and make decisions on what you want to do. You follow the directions to the end of this corner, which is this major intersection between a couple of the main roads that cuts through the east side. And as soon as you round around this corner, some of those like greens and blues of the neon lights are immediately dulled in comparison by a bright yellow kind of golden sign ahead of you. There is across the road from you, you can see the entrance to the to Gilded. It has this the GLDED hollow projected street sign that's kind of forms a why do I want to say the word parabola? Is that what I'm looking for? It's bent.
Probably.
Parabolas like this.
Yeah. Forms a semicircle. I'll just go with that. Out in front of the building that sort of cuts over the part of the street and the sidewalk. You can see we're talking like middle, early afternoon. It's not like there's like huge crowds going in, but there's still like a significant amount of people around this area coming in and out of the club. It looks like there are actually steps leading down from street level. Like this club is probably underground in the basement of this mega complex that's above it. But it's well advertised. It doesn't seem like it's a secret or anything like that. But there are a few individuals that seem to be loitering around outside. And you catch the glint of some knives and other weapons underneath their overcoats as they are leaning up against the building, staying underneath the awning to keep out of the rain. So you have your first little glance at your target. What would you like to do?
Umbrella out, overhead, Shuffles a little to Amaris' side.
Thanks.
I could take him. We're not fighting, right? Never mind.
No, where you say we go in and have a drink?
Sounds good to me. We should probably split up. We won't look like such a threat then. Try to look like you're having a good time. Mori will step up and be a very amicable patron, like get in under the awning where there's no rain coming down, like take off his hat.
Yuri turns to Aiden. Can you hold on to this? I need to tie my shoe.
Mhm.
And then just immediately leaves to go under the awning. Aiden is with now Amaris under the umbrella.
That was a trick. Shall we?
How do you look like you're having fun?
I mean, you just have fun. And your face kind of does the work for you.
I mean, even when I am having fun, people usually think I'm not. So I think I need to do something different with my face.
Try. Here. A lot of people just want to plaster a big smile on their face. It's really all in the eyebrows. Just relax this part of your face.
Am I doing it?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Engaged, but not, you know.
Okay. Got
Is Gilded open?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
it. We just tried to walk in, it's fucking closed.
Yeah,
it's till
it is.
6.
If you all have, if you
Middle
all
of
come
the
across
day.
the street and are at the entrance, coming underneath the awning, yeah, you can see there are some people kind of loitering around here smoking outside the main entrance, but it is a stairwell leading down. The stairwell is pretty wide, maybe about like 20 feet, with a railing in the center, leading down like 2 landings. And if you are actually going down the stairs to this into the club, you begin to hear that low kind of thumping of a bass as you head a bit further in. I will go ahead and actually put on our. This isn't the music I wanted. That's a little too well. I'll leave this for now, but I need something a little bit more low key than that. No, we'll stick with that. Never mind. It grew on me after like 10 seconds.
That's a parasite.
Yeah, you hear that low thumping of a bass from inside, and there are these like very opaque black sliding doors in front of you that as you approach slide open, and you are hit by the sights and sounds of the club inside. Everything is you're underground, so it's very dark. No external windows, and there are some flaring neon lights near the center of the room, where there is there's actually the bar is in the center of the room and kind of forming a circle with the patrons kind of all around standing at tables. There's that low thumping music. It's not like full rager in here. There's probably about like 20 or 30 people that are dancing and probably on something at this point in the middle of the day. But it is not like wall-to-wall packed. There are plenty of like booths around the edge of the room that are shrouded in darkness, and there does seem to be some stairs on the far end of the wall in both corners that probably go up to like the second level, the level that you probably came in underneath to enter the main entrance. There are hollow projected dancers at several of the tables, as well as some of the booths in the corner. And you can see some of the booths that are this dark, like some of them are just dark because there aren't any patrons. Some that there are patrons in, they're talking, and then some of them actually have this like hollow projected like screen that comes down, so you can't even see inside. It's completely opaque into the
Privacy filter.
like a privacy filter into the booth, and there's a couple of those that are currently screened out. So yeah, what would you like to do?
Is this place nice enough to have a coat check?
Yeah, actually, I think as you come in, this is a pretty nice establishment. You're kind of in the corporate district of the city on this east side. So there are
Follow-up
lots of
question: how chill is it to have a gun?
there was no gun check, so you don't have to. Yeah, you
Only
gather
a code
probably-
check.
A lot of people are probably armed in here. It's not that high
right.
security.
Cool.
But there is, like, as you come in, there are to your right and left, there are these sort of like metal hook, like arm, like protruding from the wall, that you can hold your coat up to, and it just kind of snags on the end, and then it pulls it back into the wall, and then a little ticket is dispensed for your
That's adorable.
yeah.
Nice.
All right,
Yeah,
now
Mori-
think about
Mori
putting
does
Yuri
that. He's
there,
gonna-
and he gets yanked into the darkness and a little ticket.
And I should also clarify, so the it's very dark, kind of smoky in here. Everything in here is like golden embroidered, like golden filigree accents, like keeping very true to the aesthetic that you would guess by the name. It's kind of giving that facsimile of like a very like rich, ostentatious, and affluent, but it is a little bit cheaper than that in actuality. Nothing is real gold as far as you can tell.
All right. I think Mori's gonna quickly read the room and then just try and chameleon his way in. So like, he sheds the coat. So now he's just in the vest. And he'll go up to the bar and order a drink. In fact, do you guys want to double up? Do Amaris and Aiden, and then Yuri and Mori?
Sure. Teams of two.
Yeah. Because
Yuri
Mori
is-
and Yuri are both wearing ties, we can just pretend like we work together.
Yeah, Yuri's just parroting Mori.
Or
but
you're a
the-
very fancy married couple.
That is also a possibility. We
That
just
is
got
my
wed.
father.
This is my father.
Yuri's trying to do the code check thing, but it grabs his arm instead. He's like, no. No.
Struggles with that for a while.
Just trying to tamp down every instinct to help. Like,
So Mori and Yuri, you guys are going over to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you put up your coats, Yuri, with a bit of effort, and you head over to the bar. Aiden and Amaris, the two of you, kind of shortly after. Do you go to the bar? Do you go to one of the booths or a table, or where would you like to go?
get like a booth in the corner.
Sure. Okay, two of you go sit.
We
at-
look like a very successful businesswoman and her boy toy.
Yeah,
She like found in Miami.
yeah.
You clean her pool.
So
I'm
the
the
two.
fool. Oh, the whole time they're walking in, Aiden is like, okay, is just like presenting like cover scenarios. No, nah, married's too much. Okay, no, hear me out. You're the very successful businesswoman, and I'm your pool boy.
Pablo.
Why would I take my pool boy out? Are we friends?
That's a word for it.
Oh, okay, so you clean my pool, but we're also friends and we hang out?
No, we're
We're swim buddies?
having an affair.
What?
We're having an affair.
Oh, so I'm married in this.
Well, you don't
pretend.
have to be. I just don't really know a nicer way to say.
Well, if I'm not married, then is it an affair? Are we just dating?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm a businesswoman and you work for me, but we also date?
Dating is a word for it.
Okay.
I feel like the dynamic of this relationship has done a complete 180.
Okay, maybe we'll scratch that story.
Okay. It was a little confusing.
Well, if you know what? Never mind. I don't really want to explain it.
You can still be a pool boy if you want to. That could be like your profession since we're, acting.
Maybe you were on a business trip in Miami and we met across the bar. And sparks flew and now we're jet setting around.
Okay. I like that.
Meanwhile, at the bar, Yuri's just like talking to the bartender with a, yeah, crazy weather we're having. And he tries a smile, but it looks very threatening.
Be a shame if something happened to it.
Be a shame if something happened to someone while they were out in the rain, right?
So there's no bartender, but you can do that to one of the other patrons that you're sitting next to.
Sure.
There's a couple of people sitting at the bar. No bartenders. Everything is an automated system here. So you put in your drinks and it dispenses and serves it to you. But you looked at one of the patrons who you sat up next to is also wearing like a suit, and kind of a loosened tie, like they just came off a shift or have left work early, and you get this smile and they just give a nod at you and then pick up their drink and move like a couple seats down the bar. Terrified.
Was it something I said? There is a daiquiri in front of Yuri, non-alcoholic.
Yeah. Mori just kind of like looks at him, looks at the retreating patron, and then looks back at him and says, "You know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. I think we can work with this."
Be a shame if something were to happen to someone on this rainy day.
All right, that's a little too thick. That's laying it on like a little,
Why in the
walk it back a bit.
any universe would Deo want us to be doing this?
I think
Mission.
he wasn't there on the last mission.
Why
and
would
just
he want
assumed
us to
competency
help?
based on the results? So
We are chuckle fucks, but we get results.
he never, I mean, he'd have no reason to think that this was how bad some of you were at this sort of thing.
They get to a booth and Aiden is like, "Oh no, okay, maybe it's like the one of the from the original 10 Fast and Furious films, that original chunk, and maybe it's like we were together, but you thought I was dead, and then now we've come back together, and Aiden's still not doing any work."
And as you sit down at the table and you're contemplating this, a screen illuminates, like a projected screen illuminates on the table in front of you, and just like a whole catalog of dancers like scrolls past for you one at a time for your viewing needs while you are sitting at the table.
All of their names ending with an I.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference?
It's like Joe E with an I and Carly with an I. And
Do any of them tap?
Oh, it's not that kind of. They're strippers.
Oh. Red. I don't have a preference.
Oh.
you also don't have to. You can just turn off the screen.
No, we're trying to fit in. I want Aiden and
We're trying
Amaris
to fit in.
to order a stripper. So bad. I want this more than anything.
Take action, Amaris.
She can see that Aiden is excited about this. She's like, okay, start scrolling.
We should fit in.
Right, yeah. All the other tables are,
Gregory with an I.
Agree with it.
well, So this candy has 2 eyes.
Luke with an eye.
Where?
Is that candy? Is that candy? CAINDY?
Okay.
Candy?
Okay.
Sure, we'll go with candy with an eye in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
Candy with an extra eye.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
That's a callback. You
You
remember
have to find the
candy
eye.
with an eye, but the eye is in the middle? That was an RJ joke ages ago.
7 million years ago. RJ looks like he has no idea what we're talking about.
I literally
I say
clipped it. I'll
a
find
lot
it.
of
It's fine.
things.
Yeah, you order you order your dancer, and immediately the lights kind of crisscross
You're
and
also
turn
like
on.
the people that work here will know.
You have your as a VR dancer illuminates in front of you on the screen. This hollow projected form dancing on the table in front of you.
She's very talented.
Yeah.
I think Mori looks away for 10 seconds, looks back. There's a chessboard in front of Yuri, and there's just a bunch of strippers. He misread what strip chess was about.
In the meantime, Mori is just slowly sipping his drink and like looking around the room, trying to like just read everybody here and see what he can glean.
Sure. Okay. You can do a pull for would this be God, I feel like I've forgotten all the skills in this game already.
Insight perception?
Yeah, insight perception's a good one.
One
I'll also
moment.
say for Amaris and Aiden, as you like spend the I just assume like you have enough credits to like cover this, and you probably had an advance for this mission. You all haven't had to spend any money so far. There is an option too. You gather it's probably some of the private rooms. Is that if you like the hollow projected dances are like the kind of cheapest option and stuff. If you want like a live dancer, a live performer for to at your table, that is like an upgraded cost there. If you want someone to actually have a conversation with.
Yeah, there's an idea.
I'm just thinking of a stripper droid getting ODST dropped from the stratosphere onto the table.
Yeah, that's how they do it, RJ. Just like a tube opens up and they just deposit a dancer on the table.
So
Just the idea of like
No,
a bunch
you're
of dancers,
hilarious.
like,
a
crouched in
firefighter
the
pole
rafters,
comes
and they
down
go,
and they
all right,
slide
where
down.
we dropping, boys?
Yeah.
Skittering around like spiders, just like.
should we?
I mean, I've heard of a
Terrifying.
dead drop, but that's ridiculous.
This is
now.
ridiculous.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm not great at like recon and stuff. Would it be good to like talk to one of the dancers for real?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they see a lot. Okay. Do you want to find Candy? At the very least, we could find
Sure.
out if we're saying her name right. I would feel really bad if we're not.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It actually can die, and she pulls out a gun, shoots it.
Damn.
Sorry.
Yes, you can.
All right. I haven't thought this through.
If any of us really.
More,
Did you think this is what we were gonna do?
Oh shoot, I haven't done my pull
No,
yet.
this is
Sorry, there was a
exactly what I
cat
thought
on
you were
top.
gonna do.
There was a cat on top of my character sheet.
Oh,
And I was all like,
So it
better
just
get rid of this
ceases to
cat.
exist.
Job done. Anyway.
While Mori's doing work, Aiden is actually
Had
like
an ADHD moment.
flipping through the different dancers and like trying to see if any of the other ones have like strangely spelled names. It's not like
It's every name, but they all have eyes in them.
They all have eyes in them.
Ooh, good pull.
There's
Mori.
Marv with an eye.
This guy's name is just
Dude.
Joe.
Joe
There's
with
an
an
eye in
eye.
it.
I think I nearly pulled every single one of my missions.
Wouldn't that become joie?
in
like
public?
Joie de vivre?
Oh,
there
maybe
you
it's
go.
French.
Amaris and
Oh,
Aiden get a
also, my quote came up said, "I'm gonna have to be mean." So can I be mean?
If you
Get
be mean, then
mean.
you get it.
I would love to. Okay, cool.
Aiden and
Mean
Amaris get a
Mori.
text on the group chat, and it's a picture of Yuri, but his tongue is blue.
So that's 16 on my pull.
Damn, Dad.
Damn.
And Dad.
That's my second best stat. I just don't use it.
Use them more.
Yeah, you are so you are just kind of looking around trying to get a gauge on everyone in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to decide how I'm gonna make you be mean right now, or if I'm gonna make you be mean to follow up with this.
I feel like that's gonna have to be the way that we do it.
Yeah,
the latter.
Because what happens?
What am I gonna do?
one
Mean mug
guy-
around the room?
One guy gets in your way,
We're just walking around the room like,
guy.
and you have to punch him to get.
Tell
him
me
to
about
the
your
room so you can see
feelings.
the rest of the room.
Just turn into a bad bitch.
I'm just scared.
No, you you kind of take a look around, gauging up. I mean, there's a fair amount of people in here, and through the crowd of some of the people dancing on the floor, there are you look over towards some of the booths. This one does not have a it's like on the corner, kind of next to where, like across from where Aiden and Amaris currently are. There is a one of those corner booths, and there's a couple people sitting in that. One is sitting like on the far side, like in the corner, so they can look out over the room. The other two are sitting like blocking each of the kind of entrances into the booth. And you watch as somebody actually comes down from the stairs and walks over to that booth, places something on the table by one of the people sitting near the exit of it, and they take it and sort of slide it over the person sitting in the corner, and she picks it up, kind of looks or say it looks like it's a what would it be? Yeah, it's just like a small little like box of some kind, and it sort of like flips it open. Seems to like rummage around something in there, and then closes it, then slides it back across the table. The person grabs it and heads out.
Can I like surreptitiously take a picture of this with my phone?
Sure, yeah. So you just kind of like,
Who knows? It
go
might be
over
useful.
there. Sure, you can do that.
What I'm doing with this is that I'm like leaning over to Yuri and making it look like we're taking a selfie.
Okay, yeah, with them in the back.
Yep.
All right, Yuri, you're still scaring everyone off from the bar.
Oh, he was texting Amaris and Aiden with like his tongue is super blue now from the daiquiri. And as Mori leans in with a picture, doesn't really get what's happening, just like peace sign up to eye, tongue out. Okay, selfie time.
I love him. He's the best. With a blue tongue.
Yeah, so
I
you
have-
pick up with your insight that might be somebody affiliated with or higher up in the gang that runs the place.
Makes a lot of sense. Describe these two people again.
Well, so there's two that are sitting. There's three total that are sitting at this table. Two of them on either side, because it's a corner booth, so it kind of wraps around in a circle. Two of them are sitting near the exits. These two are like darkly dressed, wearing suits, and seem a little bit bigger. Probably like bodyguards. The one sitting in the corner is wearing. You see a woman that's wearing a very bright, like neon yellow jacket over a black, like sequin top underneath, and she has sort of silver hair, like dyed silver. Looks to be maybe like late 20s, early 30s, pretty young. She is, and she's got like some like chrome piercings and stuff too. You can see maybe some tattoos on her hands from the distance that you're at. It's kind of hard to make out exactly. And then she has, you see the glint of like cyberware on her fingers, like on both hands, as she picks up this cube and looks over it.
I'm just gonna very casually watch this exchange and try not to draw too much attention to myself.
Okay.
I think Mori just hears a rhythmic beep every couple of seconds from Yuri.
Mm-hmm.
He turns around, he's ordering a bunch of pina coladas and sending it to the booth where Aiden and Amaris are.
We order these?
No.
Amaris picks one up, another one appears. Picks that up, another one appears.
There goes Yuri's whole per diem.
I think there might be a problem with the drink dispenser.
As this happens, you've placed your request to like finally processes, and one of those privacy screens comes down, making kind of rendering the looking out of this booth opaque. You can still catch some like vague shapes from outside. Yuri and Mori, it's completely blocked off. You can't see inside anymore. And the table in front of you actually sort of retracts and like lowers down, so it's level with
Grab
the
my
floor.
drink. The two pina coladas that popped out.
Yeah.
They're both just
there's-
double fisting pina coladas. Like,
Yeah, another tray, like there are like the smaller tables like to the left and right where you can put your drinks down on, and then on the like the wall side of this booth there is a the wall actually opens up, and stepping out is Candy,
candy.
the entertainer, the performer
Performer.
you requested. And yeah, she comes out and kind of moves straight up to the two of you, and smiles, says, "Hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm Candy."
Hi.
It's out of hand to
Candy.
shake hers, not really knowing what to do with this interaction.
Wait,
I
are we
think-
using fake names? Did we decide?
You did not decide ahead of time.
Doctor Strange.
She moves in, kind of delicately taking your hand, Amaris, not to really shake, but just like moving closer to you, and she says, "What's your name?"
Ava.
Hi, Ava. And I think she just moves and kind of like moves into your lap.
Hands out. No one can see us right now, but hands visible. Hover hands. Hover hands. Not touching the dancers. Not touching the dancers. Hi. Looks at
She
Aiden.
looks over to you. What's your name?
Chad.
Chad and Ava.
Little story.
Were you about to do Jack and Diane?
I started laughing in the middle of it, so I had to mute.
Because all I heard is little story. Oh my god. Yeah, so the music kind of like, you don't hear the muffled music from outside, like those speakers in the air start pumping in kind of like a lower key music, and she dances for you, Amaris, and yeah, she asks you, says, "I haven't seen you here before."
We're here from out of town on business.
Really? Where'd you come from? What was that? What was that motion that you just did? Because that's not how I read it.
Confidence.
Because all I saw was
Yeah.
this
You know,
Confidence.
I meant like
huge tracts of lawn.
Amaris just reach out.
be confident.
No, never. Never.
Act, Amaris, act.
Don't think, just act. No, he's like, like confident. Because Amaris is the smart one, and she'll know what questions to ask. He's just moral support.
We're here from Sinnoh City, actually.
Really? I've never known anyone from Sinnoh. What's it like there?
Oh, it's been very interesting recently, but getting very good.
She looks down. She says, "Are you nervous, honey?"
A little bit. Can you tell?
Just relax.
Okay. Does the relaxing of her eyebrows, like Aiden told her.
Is there any questions you want to ask Candy?
I think probably the same thing. Have you worked here for long?
She says, "Oh, a few years now. Yeah."
Good work. Good place to work.
Yeah. It's better than the last place I worked at.
Amaris's brain has just gone blank, I think.
A little bit of bi panic from Amaris.
just dad. Our business is actually investing in entertainment venues like yours.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of your firm?
Venue Star.
Never heard of it.
It's a startup.
And that's why we're here, right? Is expanding business.
Okay. So I see you came here to sort of scope the place out, get an idea of what it's like.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Well, you both sound very important. If you're interested, you could upgrade to the deluxe package and we could move this somewhere else.
Sure. We could talk some more
Aiden looks shocked.
about this business opportunity.
Well, we'll discuss other things first, and then you can talk business.
Okay.
I figured you want to experience everything that Gilded has to offer.
Looks at Aiden. Amaris has no frame of reference for this club. At all.
Why don't we get to know each other a little better first?
Okay. I think she takes that as a clue to. I think she just sort of like slowly like moves off of Maris and moves over to Aiden.
Okay. Hopefully, Amaris has the brain cell back.
Let's.
I
move
don't
back
know what to ask.
as I try to push the other two deeper into this
That's
into
a
this
phrase
scenario
for
that
it.
they've created. God damn it. I was gonna say the rabbit hole, but I just feel like I would have made another gross joke because of
Does
that.
she have Thumper tattooed anywhere on her body? That's a House of Leaves reference, baby. Sorry.
Okay, let's move back while y'all are reeling with that. This may be a scene that we have to carry over in the next session. The stripper, the performer, the other two, Mori and Yuri. Mori, you're gauging this exchange going on in the other corner, and so I think there is that person that was like came in before leaves, and then there's a couple more people come to the table, and you watch as one of them is actually there is some like staff coming through here. Some of them are more like performers, more dancers that are moving through, like coming from one booth or going to another, and one of them actually comes around to the booth with this person at it, and she stops for a second by one of the guards here, and the guard reaches like to the left of them, pulls out like a small, like almost looks like a briefcase size thing, and grabs from, you did pretty well on your insight, grabs two looks like small, like palm-sized vials from inside and hands them to her, and she takes them quietly and then moves back to one of the booths.
So, the guy that's handing her stuff, like did he hand her the replay this scene for me again,
Sure.
real quick?
Yeah, she walks up. They have a small exchange. He reaches down and grabs a small like case, like briefcase, and places it on the table. Pops it open, grabs two vials, hands them over to her. She palms them and then makes her way back to the booth that she came out of.
Okay. I'd like to pick up a fresh drink. Something that's like very heavily pigmented.
Okay.
Like some red wine or something along those lines. Sure. And make my way across the dance floor towards that guy. Just sort of gesture for Yuri to follow.
Boop, boop, boop.
And then
I think I lost my card. Someone's been charging a bunch of daiquiris to a club called Gilded. I need a pause on all payments there.
You're the worst. I'm
not doing anything. Let me be a shit.
This guy that's been handing her all of this stuff, like he's like separated from her at this point.
He is sitting at the table with he and one of the other guards are sitting at the table with the woman in the yellow suit jacket.
They're still together.
Mm-hmm. Three of them are still together. Looks like he's essentially like handling the transactions that are being done under the table here.
Sure. I'm gonna move to a position where like I'm closer to them and I can see what they're up to, but like just sort of like hold my drink and like pretend to chat with Yuri.
Okay. I think you move. I mean, you can move closer to one of these other like there's some like standing tables over in that area, and you are currently so you're currently drinking at one, like having this nothing conversation with Yuri, and yeah, you can see these two guys are essentially like a couple more times it'll happen over the next like 30 minutes or so where somebody will walk up and they will hand something to one of the guards sitting on the right side, and then they'll go over to the guard on the left side that has the briefcase, and he will hand them something, and then they will leave.
has been mostly employees doing this? Or
It's
is
mostly
it
employees that are doing this,
Okay.
these exchanges, yeah.
if Mori points this out, I think I'm going to mark one of the employees to steal a vial.
Okay.
Mm.
Do you want to attempt to do that?
Yeah, it's larceny, right?
Yeah,
Crimes.
that'd be larceny.
Dex larceny?
Yes, yeah.
Or
Unless you're
finesse?
gonna just like brute force, but I
Just
assume you're trying to do this
punch
subtly.
them. Nicolas Cage in a bear costume.
Yuri goes into the bathroom, comes out with a bear costume, punches one of the employees, takes their drugs, and runs.
4? Okay. That counts as 2. That counts as 1. I'm going to spend potential. Remember, we ate quite a bit and slept.
Yeah, y'all should be pretty much full. Well, you've had at least 3 meals since
So that's 1,
the last mission.
4, 2, 6, 7, 10.
10.
Yeah, 10 was my draw.
Okay.
Put that back in. Put that back in.
I'm just gonna roll, determine the difficulty here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So you were marking one of the
Employees that I'd drawn up
Employees.
to take a vial.
yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah. I think this one has sort of moved past your table from one of the other one of the other booths, and they make their drop and make the grab, and they are coming back in your direction. Use that moment to kind of put down your glass, and like you're moving towards the restrooms or something, and you bump into them and use that moment to like sleight hand grab the vials from them.
It's one hand sleight of hand grab the vials, the other one just to cushion their fall a little bit, just like brace them.
Yeah, and they like stop and look at me like, dude,
Sorry, are you okay?
yeah, just watch your step.
Yeah, my bad.
And as Yuri, are you like continuing towards the bathrooms, or are you coming back to the table immediately?
Bathrooms.
Okay. Yuri heads off to the bathrooms, and Mori, you watch as this employee kind of moves, takes a couple of steps and stops,
Oh.
like past their side, and then look back over to where Yuri's walking off, and then they double back towards this table, and they talk with one of the guards briefly, and this guard looks over to the woman in the corner. She gives a nod, and this guard stands up from the table and heads towards the bathrooms following Yuri.
Great.
I got something funny for this.
And that might be the best place to stop for today.
Oh, please, I don't want to forget.
We're
I don't
setting
want
up.
to go.
We're...
Well, we gotta do our stars and wishes,
wishes,
and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
and
gotta
see
balance.
us
It's
get
true.
going
It's true.
on time. So
I gotta leave myself a note. Swirly.
you're about to we're
Just
about
like
to have
Hitman.
a full Hitman bathroom
Yes.
brawl.
I'm gonna change into his outfit, head back to the table, and sit down, give a thumbs up like it's been taken care of.
You know what? I
The
know.
guy across is like, "Who the fuck are you?"
I know
I'm-
exactly where this has to go. I know exactly where this has to go.
Well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait 2 weeks
No.
to continue it.
Yeah. Once
this-
again.
I will say, I'm gonna change our music back to something a little less. No, we'll go to this. I did not write much for the club exchange because I had absolutely no fucking idea what y'all were gonna try to do when you got here, and I'm glad that I didn't because I wasn't expecting ordering dancers and getting caught pickpocketing guards. So well done, everyone. I just saw RJ your screenshot. It says swirly.
I made a new channel in my notes Discord just for that.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do our end of session stuff. And we will get out of here. So,
Can't believe
end of
it's already
session.
over.
I know, right? What's so fast?
It's over, isn't it?
Script criteria.
Our attend, yes.
All right, each character is here. Yes, y'all get a script for that. Each character who has learned something new or experienced character growth gains 1 script.
Just across the board, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you all did. Heroism. Each character commits heroic feats of survival and persistence with the intent of saving others.
Not
Granting
yet.
a few persons to respite.
Not
I don't
yet.
think we had anything like that today.
Not yet.
Wisdom. Character presents a plan or solution, drastically alters the fate of the group.
Not yet.
Would Aiden suggesting that we get a dancer and then having that entire exchange happen count as a plan?
It's
something.
Was that a plan?
It was a plan.
That was
Okay.
Aiden's plan.
I just got the problem is this episode was so exposition heavy that my brain got lost, and I was like, now I don't remember what I'm supposed to be asking. I swear it was a plan.
I'm sorry.
Oh
We
no,
had a
it was
lot of
fantastic.
exposition.
It
I just-
made
I mean,
total
I
narrative
got brain
sense.
tired.
we now
No,
have
and
2
and
weeks to
narratively,
think
we
about
just
this,
we
so-
just we had you know, by panic. It was great.
Okay, so yeah, 80, you can take one for that. Once per any grave failures today? I don't think so. I don't think we didn't really have any draws today. No grave failures, no critical successes. Anyone achieve a goal?
I think I already.
Oh, I did. I achieved a goal. I learned the name of my.
Yes, you did, because
parasite.
we held off on that
Yeah,
last
you
time.
did.
'cause-
We did, and genuinely a good reveal. Actually, I'll save it for stars and wishes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do those then. Stars, wishes, and then we'll give out a quote. So, Van, do you want to kick us
Yeah,
off?
sure. My star is gonna go to Amaris for a pretty massive amount of character growth today.
Hell yeah!
And a big shift in taking action. I'm very proud of her. My wish is I don't know. I just want to do some Hitman shit.
Yeah.
Just
You
wanna do
joined the
some
wrong group.
Sneaking around and
This is probably the perfect scenario. for you to-
disguising and that stuff.
This is the most Hitman group we have.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean the pairings, but
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
could I go into their booth, grab a daiquiri, wait for the circle to appear over someone's head, and then just knock them out with one?
Yes, I demand it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Van. I think RJ is next.
Oh shit, yeah, I am. Hi, everybody. I'm RJ. Once again, our Justice 282, Twitter, Twitch, and Hive. Stars and wishes. Again, just expanding on the Parasite scenes was very good. Val, I can tell you put a lot of work into just what the individual stuff, and I applaud you for that. That's the good shit. But
I'm glad y'all enjoyed
a
it.
player star. Oh man, I think it's gonna go to Aiden for the prank war. Just continuing. Devious shit there with the text bubbles. That shit's devious.
So good.
Oh, but what if instead of a picture, it's a GIF of the bubbles so that it looks like it's
That
just
would be
constant-
worse. See, I did the screenshot because I figured he'd figure it out because it wasn't moving. But Luca's as dumb as I am.
Luca, very dumb.
Luca and Aiden are the same person.
A GIF so nice.
Well, the difference is Aiden was a secret smart. Luca just dumb.
Yeah.
But
That's
he's
okay. We
Here's
love him.
Aiden and Cyber Aiden. One of them's a genius. It's not the one you think.
Thank you.
Wishes.
Wish, yeah.
Shit. Kind of want to dive more into Amarok. Just the
Mhm.
dynamic between them and Yuri.
Yeah.
I think that I'm gonna change one of my goals to convincing Amarok working with the pack is a lot better than being alone.
Yeah, I like that.
I
Sid-
love that.
You're gonna cry, Sid.
I love that so much. Oh my god.
Yeah, I had to have one more like antagonistic relationship or like combative relationship with the Parasite and I figured Yuri's kind of worked the best for that. Everyone else's are much more supportive.
I don't have waterproof mascara on. Don't do this to me. That's adorable. Fuck.
Well, why are you gonna cry?
Because it's so cute. Ugh.
And then there's gonna be a scene where Yuri's about to just go and just says, "All right, it's all yours now. Make me proud."
And just give your body over.
To Amarok, yeah.
Oh man,
No!
that'll be some finale shit.
Mhm.
All right.
And then
Thank you.
incoherent Yuri goes to live with the wolf pack.
Oh my god.
It's fine, he has family everywhere.
That would be so sad. Which
Would
means
be so
RJ's gonna
sad.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a cool idea for Yuri, but I only shared it with RJ. You two need to talk about that.
Okay. Thank you, RJ. Sealed.
Star is gonna go to Mori for somehow still bringing work to work. Just the daddest of dad moves. Like, I'm on a job, but I'm gonna do my other job while I job. Just incredible.
This is what happens when you don't have an identity.
That's a personal attack on me because I took my work laptop to Gen Con and I worked at the convention.
Incredible. Wish. Well, I've added this as well to my short-term goals, but Amaris will, at some point, find a time to confidently speak to a person that she perceives to be in power. She will make it happen. It shall happen. Don't know when, don't know where, but it will.
Perfect.
That's me.
All right. Wings.
Wow, that's me. My star's going to Val for a really cool reveal. The ego versus id thing is really fucking cool. Because I told you my Parasite's name is Memento, and then you took that and ran with it in a way that only you can, and I fucking love it because like it just adds so much dimension to this this whole thing. Like I there are so few DMs that you can go to who will take a prompt that you give them and then like in like a really transformative way, like bring it and transform it and make it something better than like the way it started. And that's genuinely how I feel about this game. It's super cool.
Now I'm gonna cry.
Oh.
And you know what you can do with that? You can go to start playing and then put what you said into Val's
Yes.
comments.
Give them a comment. Review.
I'm gonna have to remember everything I said. But yeah, so that there's that. Stars and wishes. My wish is I want to be scary. I want to scare ego. That's my wish. Is there anything else that I need to do?
No, I think that's it. I like
Plug yourself.
scary.
ToNakeHinter.com.
That's everything I've got.
Does this make Mori the super ego?
Yes,
Yeah, we
that's
did
exactly
talk
what it
about-
does.
That was in the chat, yeah.
Oh no.
You are the bridge between the two.
Yes.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna give the quote today to Amaris for "The whole is greater than the sum of its parts." I thought that was very good. I
Aw.
enjoyed that. And then I'll give it to myself for "There Goes Yuri's Prettium" because I saw that in there and I laughed that y'all wrote that down.
No, this is all on Yuri's card. He doesn't spend money, so it's just been accruing from jobs.
Yeah. Wonderful. I don't want this game to end, but we have to because Sid's got plans and we got to get going. So thank you everyone out there for watching. We will be back in 2 weeks. We will be off next week, and then we'll be back in full force with hopefully minimal interruptions in the coming months. But you can join us for our next scheduled stream, which will be on Monday, where I run our Dragon Age game of Red Jenny. At 8 o'clock Eastern time, so come hang out. Thank you to my lovely players for you guys gave me way too many compliments today, and I couldn't do any of this without y'all.
Thank you for the game.
We will be back in 2 weeks, and until next time, good game and good night, internet.
Sing me a lullaby. Sing me a lullaby. Sing me a lullaby. Sing me a Sing